All right, horror heads, here we go. We are live, baby. Finally, they try to slow us down, and they may have slowed us down, but they ain't gonna stop us, baby. And here we go, horror 365. We are live Friday night. This lovely, glorious Friday night, 9 p.m. Yours truly, the mouthpiece of the Northeast, Jimmy J, here alongside with the one and the only, the anesthesiologist himself, Swift Knox, and today, aka the Bullet Boss. I love that Mets gear you got going on over there, Swift.
Oh yeah, you know, season just started. You got to represent New York style. You know, we do it.
Opening day was the other day, and we are
indeed
ready. We're rocking and rolling. Wow, we got some people already jumping in the chat here. Shout, of course, Mama Swift.
Oh, do we?
Yes,
Ma. Thanks for coming
Swift.
out.
Brooklyn Diva, what's going on?
Brooklyn Diva, is Brooklyn in the house without a doubt?
That's it. I'm a rebel. All right, we're not gonna get into it. Well, yeah, we got Wolfpack Mean in the house. Yo, listen.
Oh, we got Wolfpack Mean. Wolfpack Mean, what's up? Wolfpack in the house.
There we go. And guys, listen. So you know, there's see in the background here, Freddy's Dead, The Final Nightmare, Part 6, which is it's one of those movies you're either gonna love it or you're gonna absolutely despise it. And I gotta tell you, this one I personally love. It's my guilty pleasure over here. I know some people in here are going to be like, oh, wow, me too. They're finally going to be able to say it because somebody else has said it. Or they're going to come out here and say, Jimmy, you're absolutely insane. But you know what? Today's episode, we get some of the comments going on here.
Oh, we got Barbie Girl.
Hey,
Barbie Girl. Rebecca, thanks for coming out. Ooh, we got the Killer Bee in the house.
What's happening, everybody?
What's up? Thanks for coming out. Happy Friday.
Happy Friday, everybody. Yeah, especially on a Friday night. Like, who the hell wants to spend Friday night with us, Swift? Like,
talking about nobody.
We've had some.
Nobody.
I mean, 8 people at least right now. But we've had. I'm watching this scene right. Oh, I love this part because the old lady in there, and this is before. If there's anybody in here that is underage, you might want to cover your ears. But when the old lady's in there and she's telling them, she's sitting next to him, don't be a pussy. I love it. I love that part in this movie. It's great. Freddy's Dead, man. So I got to tell you, today's conversation almost never happened, but it's happening right now. And what we got up in here, let's see. Matt.
Oh, Matthew Griffin. That's my brother from another mother. What's up, Matt? Thanks for coming out. Listen, man, you're late, but you're always on time. Don't worry about it. Thanks for coming out. Much love.
Yeah,
Brooklyn Diva. Let's go. Let's go. Let's do it.
Oh, Lindsay in the building. Brooklyn Diva. Okay.
Lindsay McCormick.
Miss B, Lindsay, what's happening? What's going on?
Miss B and Love Linz. The Feral Tales. Check them out on the Feral Tales.
Man, so many great content creators. So many more people that I'm actually meeting because for those that don't know, I know we're gonna get to our conversation in a minute, but for those that don't know, I've been horror fan all my life, but I really got into this. I created Horror 365 2021, and I've met some killer people in the community out there online.
Killer.
Yeah, but I got to be honest, man. I've been meeting a lot more people since I've been, behind the scenes, not really at conventions as much as I was before, or throwing events as we were doing before. I've been meeting a lot of just awesome people through social media, and I cannot wait to see everybody out there when we get back up and running with events very soon. And when we get back out there, you're out there already, Swift, with conventions, but when I get back out there at conventions later on this year, cannot wait to meet everybody out here, definitely. And chop it up, everything horror. I appreciate everybody jumping on this conversation. Again, it almost did not happen. Wednesday night, guys, I apologize. Anybody that's viewing in here, technical issues. For those that have been on here since, I don't know, for the first few weeks, there was some issues with my internet connection. This damn Pennsylvania service is the worst. I swear to God. And they have a monopoly on it. Like, there's only one company you're going through. So, when it's messed up, there's nowhere else to go. You have to just wait. You have to take it. And that's what we got to do. But you know what we did? We take it, and we took those lemons, and we made some lemonade tonight, my man. And we're rocking and rolling with comedy and horror. And you know, Swift, when you think about a horror movie that just makes you laugh more than it makes you scared, what movie comes to mind?
Well, there's a bunch of movies, but the one I'm going to talk about is Shaun of the Dead, 2004. Like to me, that's just a comedy movie that takes place in a horrific world. You know, I gotta say that because it wasn't scary at all. It was kind of silly, but it was enjoyable. So you know, that one will go there. Uh, it's kind of hard to rewatch, but to me, it's more comedy than horror. I'm like, yo, is this even a horror movie? But yeah, it is. It's dealing with the zombie apocalypse, so it's got to be a horror movie. How about you?
Listen, there's a lot. It is too many. I think because like I'm at this point in my life, I'm desensitized. So in doing EMS, for those who don't know, I was EMT for about 6 or 7 years in New York. Seeing some real life trauma, and when I watch it on TV, I don't know. I laugh. I mean, it's bad. I don't know if it's like one of those things you see somebody, you know, Swift, we've been through some things in life, right? But when you see somebody on TV going through some serious shit and they're getting hacked up, whatever, it's like, wow, at least that's not me, man. Sucks for you. But it's like,
sucks to be you.
Yeah, are we getting, you know, joy out of seeing somebody else being miserable? I that's not it. I don't, not in real life, but like on the screen, I'm like, damn, I thought I had it bad. My man just got hacked up, you know, like, you know, so it's just that's one of those things, I guess. That's one of the reasons. And, you know, like this movie right here, this is why I put on Freddy's Dead. This is the one that really stood out to me because I've always loved the Nightmare on Elm Street franchise. Of course, the big ones, you know, Friday the 13th, Halloween. But when you look at those, for the most part, you know, Halloween franchise was hard. There really wasn't too much comedy. They try to throw in, I noticed a little bit of comedy in part 5 with those cops that with little sound effects with the doofy officers. Did not mix well, did not work well.
No.
But predominantly that franchise was all horror. Friday the 13th, very similar. You know, Tom McLaughlin in part 6, he threw some, I think it was like a perfect mix what he did with comedy and horror, and Jason Lives.
Yeah, it worked. It worked.
Yeah, and I like that, you know. I like that. Let's see. Wait, hold on. Let's go to some of the comments real quick. Boca Diva. Okay.
American Werewolf in London.
Yeah.
Yeah, you see, I thought that was a comedy horror, but it was more horrific. Like you really knew this was a horror movie. That transformation alone was Matthew Griffin, Tucker and Dale versus Evil. Yes, indeed. Shaun of the Dead and Scare Package. Yeah.
See, I guess those are also, Friday the 13th part
4 and 5 had comedic. Yeah.
That's a very good point. Yeah.
100%. Yo, great point. Yeah.
Thank you for catching on that. Yeah, because the first 4 was just straight horror. But yeah, well, like you said, 4 started transition a little bit right there. Then 5 with the characters in 5. And it's another thing I said, you know, 5 is so underrated. It aged well because people got behind the characters. Like, you know, you look at Ethel, rest her soul, man. She was such a sweet.
Oh, yeah.
Or,
Carol
Locatel. I love her, man.
And,
you know, but in the film, she was just over the top. This elderly lady just cursing, just ruthless, man. Just, you know, sticking the finger up at everybody. She's pissed off, man. It was hilarious seeing that. And then, of course, Ron Sloan Jr. with classic Miguel, ooh baby stuff. A lot of that shit, you know, that was an ad lib a lot. He's sitting in the bathroom. Anita, is that you, girl? Oh, you're in another bitch.
Hilarious.
He had me rolling, man. Yeah, Miguel Nunez.
Hilarious.
Man. And you know what the funny thing was about Miguel?
Chucky. Yes, absolutely, Matt. Chucky did go comedy after 3. Yeah. I went straight silly. It took out what did Brooklyn D would say.
Yeah, that's true. Oh, listen, man, Miguel. I'm reading comments, and I'm also like a million things running through my mind right now.
Yes, we love it. We love it. Keep sounding off. We love it.
Yeah, no, I love it. Yeah, we want all that.
Other lady like Betty White and the classic.
And you know, I think like again, I'm on part 5 because you brought up the Miguel thing. The
Yeah.
guy, God bless this guy, man. He's the same way in real life.
Oh,
guy,
that's not a character. That's not a character. He's being himself in these movies.
No, it's him. Yeah, it's him. And I guess as the franchises moved on, like as we got later into the sequels, it started getting more comedic. There was more, comedy in those movies over there. Hold on, Betty White, yeah, was hilarious in Lake Placid. Yeah, Betty White, come on, man. The most Golden Girl. She was loved by everybody.
Everybody loved Betty White.
Yeah. I mean, Jesus, Mary, this is the thing though. And comedy and horror go hand in hand, I feel, because you know what? There's 2 things I learned. People love to be scared and people love to laugh because it makes you feel alive. That's it. It's emotion. It's something that AI is never going to have unless it's programmed in them. It's humans, okay? Well, we have emotions.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. What do we got here?
Yes.
Yeah. I don't know what that means. Caesars. I don't know. See, I'd probably typo, but whatever it is, I appreciate it. No, but either way, what I'm saying is, it's playing on our emotions, man, and
absolutely,
and I think about what is some of the movies that you mentioned earlier, Shaun of the Dead, Tucker and Dale. Those are movies, a scary movie, the spoof movies and stuff like that. Those are movies that were made to be funny. They're made to be a funny horror. But where would it fall under? It's okay, there's horror elements in there, but there's way too much comedy in there for it to be called a horror, but it's still deemed a horror. And then you have those like this that they deliver it it's over the top, like Freddy's over the top. But this started out Nightmare 1 and 2, especially 2. It's pretty fucking horrific. And then started once we hit 3 and Dream Warriors, it started throwing in the lines. Oh, welcome to prime time, bitch, and throwing these. And then 4 with the Roach Motel.
You can check in, but you can't check out.
Yeah, and then it just started getting more, and then it got to this, and this is just. I love this. Don't get me wrong, but it's just all right. This is over the top, And then I think nowadays, what do you think about this, Riff? I'm talking way too much, man. What do you think about what they're doing now? How they're adding the comedy the comedic relief in these horror films nowadays, and they're doing it in different ways, very subtly. And I guess one example that recently comes to mind is Art the Clown just slapping Sienna in the head. Scene was pretty goddamn gory and horrific, but that little moment right there just had people laughing. What do you think about how they're adding it into the horror films nowadays?
Well, for the most part, I think it's a good thing. It works. Like you said earlier, a few minutes ago, people love to be afraid and people love to laugh and have fun, which is why we have so many amusement parks around the world. Laughing and having fun. We got Matthew Griffin. Honestly, horror and comedy can go well if the timing is right. Absolutely.
Yeah. Yep.
Absolutely. I think they're doing it well. They're doing it pretty good. Stu and Randy made Scream funny. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Great point. When it's done well, it really works. When it's overdone, there's a few movies that came out this year that I thought it was done. It was too much. And I like the movie. I like the movie Hard Eyes.
Yeah,
Hard Eyes. Hard Eyes was good, but I felt that was too over the top. It was too much. The way Art the Clown's doing in the Terrifier franchise, I think that works. It's so horrific. They have to lighten it up a little bit with the levity of him doing stuff that people are gonna laugh at. Yeah. So that works. That goes in there and that works. But the reason I think it got so commonplace was following films like Evil Dead, like the first Evil Dead. That was a horrific film. Yeah. And then you look at when they came back with Evil Dead 2, it was pretty much a remake that was a comedy, And then Army of Darkness was full out comedy. I don't even call that horror anymore. It was a comedy adventure. So I think they do this a lot of times to to appeal to the Motion Picture Association of America and to bring in a different audience, to try to bring in families and stuff like that. You know, you look at Chucky, like they were talking about the Chucky franchise, and went all the way silly.
Oh yeah, yeah, wow.
Leprechaun. Look at Leprechaun, the Leprechaun movies. Those were silly. Leprechaun, let me tell you, he was a bastard, but he was funny. You laughed at him, you know. And it's a good blend when it's done right. Like Matthew said, you know, when it's done right, it really works. And it when it's firing on all cylinders, it's a form of entertainment unlike any other.
Very well said, man, and 100% agree with you. It has to be done right. It can't be too much and too interfere. All right, finally, Beetlejuice. Yeah, you know what? It was
pretty good.
It
was decent. I wasn't too crazy about it.
It's not like one of my favorites, but I thought it was good too because again, you had how many years later? Almost 30-something years
40.
later, and Michael Keaton still throwing the makeup as Beetlejuice, and I thought the only thing about him and the character was he wasn't as I don't know. He didn't deliver his lines.
He wasn't as devious. He wasn't as devious, you think?
I think it's just his age, but he didn't deliver the lines like he did in the original. And there was I don't know. It just something was off about him in there. But I thought, the story and everything, and how they put that together. Let's see.
I agree. It's interesting to think what he was going for because he's been killing it in every other acting role he's had lately. He's been killing it. What did Brooklyn Diva say? I missed it. I love the Rippy, but the movie was, but the kangaroo. Oh yeah, the Rippy. I haven't seen that one yet. I want to see it. Yeah. Dark Sky Films. Ash vs. Evil Dead is more like Army of Darkness, but takes place after Evil Dead 2. Yeah. It's comedy and horror. I've never seen Beetlejuice. Yeah, man. I know you never watched it. The Menu. Yes, The Menu.
Yeah, that's another one. That was definitely unique.
Yeah, that was.
But I thought it was pretty good because it was different.
Oh, we got Captain McKay in the house. I'm trying to imagine showing someone Army of Darkness if they only saw Evil Dead 1 and not 2. Oh, that's a great point. If they only saw Evil Dead 1 and not 2, they'd never believe it was the same series without 2 and the blend of comedy added in. Yeah, 100%.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah, that's a great point.
And that's
Captain McKay, welcome. Yeah.
How can you, watch? I mean, like he said right there, you think of a franchise. If you just seen, okay, let's take for instance Nightmare on Elm Street, right? I know because this is on in the background. So you seen the original, and that's all you seen, and then you go ahead and watch Freddy's Dead. The hell is this? This is the same franchise? Where did we go wrong? Like that. So, it's definitely, I think about like if you're going to do this and you're going to have these over-the-top comedy moments in the film, you have to. It should be a standalone film because if you're having a franchise, you have to stay somewhere along the lines of where you started in the beginning to begin with. You can't stray all the way to the right. That's my opinion. I don't know. It gets a little crazy. I think nowadays the way they blend it, though, the way it's done subtly. If it's a movie that's not, already showing us it's going to be a comedy horror movie, like we said, Shaun of the Dead, Scary Movie, Tucker and Dale. If it's a movie that, like you said, Hard Eyes, there's some funny factors in it, like little things that's done, within the film that have you laughing, but it's a serious situation. And I think
that's just like life, though. Like.
Yeah,
you don't just run around laughing at everything. You know what I mean? You're living regular life, and then something funny happens. That's what makes it so funny. That's what makes it hit. And you're like, oh, that was so funny. You're living regular life, and then something funny happens. It's not everybody's just not showering you with funniness. You know what I mean? Happy Death Day, Ready or Not, Freaky. Yeah. Yes.
Freaky.
Yes,
Vince Vaughn. Like who the hell would have thought Vince Vaughn, would have been in a movie like that? And him playing, the roles reversed and stuff like that, Freaky Friday.
Yeah, Freaky Friday. Yeah.
And I thought it was it was well done, and it was funny. And I think this is it. This is what people want nowadays. I feel like we want a little bit of everything, And then, oh, wait a minute.
Yes.
We got, speaking of everything, Johnny Sparks joining the conversation.
Oh, we got Johnny Sparks in the house.
Player in the game today. Johnny Sparks just entered the fray. What's going on,
Johnny
John?
Sparks.
What's up, fellas?
Johnny, how you doing, buddy? What's up, Johnny? How you doing, bro? Welcome. I liked Happy Death Day. Not a fan of the second one. Yeah, okay.
That's fair.
Ready or Not was a killer horror comedy. You're absolutely right.
You guys are dropping some gold here. You guys are awesome.
There we go.
Brooklyn.
I love the New Nightmare.
Thank you so much for bringing that up, because again, I think about New Nightmare, the way Wes put this one together, the fact that it was just like that. What is the word? I'm at a loss for the word. Somebody here is going to tell me what the word is that I'm missing here. Maybe
trash.
It's no, but what I'm saying is, New Nightmare was great because they used their real names, their real life personas. They played on the fact that it was a movie, and now this movie is actually turning real. And it was just so well put together how they did that. And Robert Englund and Heather Langenkamp, and I know I've said some things about her acting before, but I think right here, my opinion, her acting got better over time. She's gotten really good. And in this film, I really enjoyed her in this film and Rob in this film. New Nightmare was a great film if you haven't seen that. Let's go down the list and see what else we got. Hold on 1 second, Johnny. We're going to get to you in a minute. A Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in the Woods. That was a good one.
That was good.
I thought some of the kills in Final Death. Oh, of course. Absolutely.
Thank you.
I'm still going to call you crazy, Mom, but yeah, you're right.
Well, which one? I want to know, Mom. I want to know which one that you're talking about that is was funny. I got to hear this one because there were some crazy kills.
Yeah, she's going to say all the kills. If they were cheeky.
Zombieland?
Absolutely.
Just get my man a Twinkie, please. He's just looking for a Twinkie. Yeah. Zombieland was good. 1 and 2. I like
Cabin in the Woods was really good.
Brooklyn Diva.
Maggie. It's not a comedy. It's a different take on zombie movies. Oh, that's the Schwarzenegger film. Yeah.
Meta. Thank you. That's the word. Meta. There it is. I don't think I want to see them because I'm pissed at Meta from Facebook and Instagram, but that's for other reasons.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah, you're right. There it is. That's where I lost it. Yep.
It definitely was. New Nightmare was really good. Definitely like a prototype for what we see in Scream with the meta stuff. Also, New Nightmare showed there's a time and place for Serious Freddy and for Funny Freddy. Interesting.
You're on fire, Captain. That's absolutely correct. 100%, man. It was we seen that. It was like a prelude to Scream, in a way. What was to come in the Scream and franchise, with comedy thrown in there. And somebody earlier said, yeah, Stu and Randy and them in those movies. Stu was, and I think that's why he's just so loved and everybody wants him back and wants to see him back in this new film coming out because his character, it was a serious situation in the film. The guy's getting stabbed and the lines he's saying, like, just,
listen,
my mom and
iconic lines, bro. Iconic lines. Everybody remembered those lines from that movie when it came out. Everybody.
That's it. Let's see. Mama Swift said,
"When the fire escape fell," hilarious to me. When the fire escape fell, Final Destination, hilarious.
Bro, 100%. That you know what? I think that was funny, Mom, because I think I seen something like that happening in Brooklyn or the Bronx in the day. Like, yeah, somebody's gonna I don't know. I just kind of feel like that happened before. Well, we didn't see it.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Brooklyn Diva. Freddy's comedy, although it was funny, it made him way more sadistic. I could see that, but to me, it made him more soft because he became like a stand-up comic. Sorry to say that, Johnny. I know Freddy's your boy. I know you love him, but
that's all right. Listen, I still love you.
Yeah, good. Listen, Freddy was throwing the wisecracks and the funny stuff, even in part one. Part one was a real horror movie But you see the parts with Freddie, like where he cut his finger off when he was chasing Tina. He cut his finger off
Oh yeah.
just to show
Yeah.
her the stuff spewing out. That was a joke. He was smiling. He was joke. That was a joke. Like, oh, let me freak her out. Let me do this. Boom. Everything's coming
Yep.
up. And then the part he chases her, she couldn't get back in the door. And she grabs his face and his face comes off. If you remember that scene.
Yeah.
And then it's just he's laughing. He's laughing hysterically. Like Freddie's been a clown.
because for him it's just as much the psychological terror that he imposes on them as much as the physical.
That's
and
that's a good point.
when you think about his backstory, it makes even more sense.
Yeah, for sure, and and because I think he actually got more fun out of psychologically tormenting them than the actual kill. And to me, it was always that anticipation. You know it's coming, but he's gonna play with them first. He's gonna have some fun, and so definitely he would like to invoke the psychological and then the kill.
Yeah. Oh yeah. And he did that. That he did.
And you could also what I like. See, to me, it's the whole thing with the comedy and horror connection is a very individual basis, right? Because there's all different levels of comedy and different levels of horror. Some is lighter, some is darker, and same thing in that whole franchise, right? Some of the movies are lighter, some are darker, and also depends if you're a disturbed individual like myself, who just gets a kick out of watching people die in these movies the way that Freddy does it, and Jason does it in these bizarre ways. But it's always that the buildup, and to me, like I said, it depends on the individual, like what you find funny. For example, like Jack Torrance, right? When he's chasing Wendy and he's going, "Wendy, darling, I'm not going to hurt you. I'm just going to bash your brain." I'm like, I was laughing my ass off at that. And even, And if you remember the movie Thanksgiving. So, spoiler alert, if anybody didn't see Thanksgiving, muffs. The scene, the Black Friday scene in the beginning, I don't want to say too much in case someone hasn't seen it.
Yeah, it was
hilarious. My goodness. Dude, Swift, I had not seen any, I had seen very little about it. Like I saw a quick trailer. I heard it was good. I watched it. I put on that scene. I was laughing my ass off. I was rolling on the ground. And I'm thinking to myself, I was like, is something wrong with me that I'm laughing at what happened during that scene to kick off the movie? And so somebody else might sit there and go, that's not funny. But to me, I thought it was funny. So, yeah, I mean, there's some of the movies have a more lighthearted approach. Some maybe stay more in the comedy lane with a little bit of spookiness, if you didn't want to dare say horror. And look, my favorite horror decade is the 80s. I mean, granted, there are classics that come before and, a few real good movies after, but for me, the 80s is home. And the reality of it is a lot of those movies are very campy. And so I get it. Like you were saying, sometimes it kind of downplays it takes some of the terror, if you want to say, out of the character or the movie or the scene. But yeah, I mean, you say like Evil Dead, right? First movie was really good, right? I mean, I like them all, but yeah, it's true. As you got, Evil Dead 2, and then Army of Darkness. Yeah, I agree with you completely. Army of Darkness, it's not scary. It's I guess it's technically still in the horror genre, but it's funny. It's a comedy.
Yeah, it's a comedy fantasy adventure, Yeah,
right. And so, so I guess it really depends. Some people might prefer a lighthearted comedy, horror, more something that's a little bit more dark. It's nice that we have. It's nice that we have something that covers the whole spectrum. So because there are certain movies that, like American Werewolf in London, that The Shining, and so on. Those movies like that, you're not going to particularly show a young kid. But then there are some movies that you can, like you were saying, Wednesday, Beetlejuice, some of those movies that
Yeah.
are a little bit more lighthearted. And so you can kind of break them in gently without traumatizing them for life.
Well, let me tell you something. Let me make a little confession here. Chicky didn't break me in with any of that. It was straight to the hardcore horror. So I didn't have any gateway horror. My gateway horror was Halloween. My gateway horror was Friday the 13th. My gateway horror was all of the stuff we're talking about. That was my gateway horror. I didn't have Goosebumps or anything like that. Straight to the good stuff.
You went right. You went right to the Exorcist.
Yeah. The Howling, The Exorcist. I used to laugh at The Exorcist. The Howling. What else? American Werewolf in London. One of the first movies I remember. One of them. Besides like Halloween 2 and stuff like that. But yeah, Chicky dropped me right in. Dropped me right in. All right, son, here you go. Woo! Yeah.
Right into the Lions Den.
Comments where we left off. I think Brooklyn Diva we had here. Freddie's coming. Okay.
Freddie's comedy. It was funny. It made him way more sadistic. Yes.
Oh God. Well, yeah.
13 Gallows Lane. What's up?
What's up, Joe? What's happening, buddy?
OMG, yes, Chicky. Mama Swift knows the goods, 100%. 100%.
Go down the line.
LOL. Don't laugh now. You created this monster here.
Oh boy.
I still am afraid of the fire escape ladder. Yeah.
That's we got.
That was comedy.
Well, look, right? Right, Swift, what we were saying the other day with the log truck on the highway.
Yeah.
Right.
Oh yeah. That traumatized the generation.
Yeah. I mean, don't
go back to Matthew Griffin. What did it say?
Okay,
I missed it. It chapters 1 and 2 had good. Okay, got you. Especially with Bill Hader. Yeah.
Yeah, again, it goes back to the timing too. It really, like, when you deliver. It's everything.
Yeah. Comedic timing. Oh my God, Blood Relatives, the whole thing. Comedy about vampires. Yeah. Blood. Yeah.
I mean, look, you have something like Leslie Nielsen, Dead and Loving It. What was it? I think it's called Dead and Loving
Dracula.
It. Where he's Dracula.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it's obviously it's not scary. It's meant to be more comical than anything. But
yeah, Thanksgiving. Yeah. Thanksgiving. Sorry about that. Thanksgiving caught me off guard with the comedy. I didn't expect to like that movie, but I had a great time. Let me tell you guys a story about Thanksgiving. Like you said about the opening, Johnny, it was hilarious.
Oh, it caught me so off guard, man. I was laughing my ass off.
Yeah, but it's a real situation. Like my brother, the brother that comes right after me, he actually narrowly escaped that situation. He was supposed to work in Long Island Black Friday at the Valley Stream Best Buy. And luckily he was irresponsible at the time and he overslept. So he never made it into work. You know, it was for the overnight, the Black Friday.
Yeah.
And the guy that he was supposed to be working with wound up getting killed and trampled, if you remember that.
Oh my God.
Stream Black Friday, what year was that? I forgot the year, but you probably remember it. Right there.
I remember hearing about it,
Yeah. He narrowly escaped that.
Wow.
Thankfully, he was irresponsible at the time.
Yeah.
And he overslept. Because that would have been him. Yeah, that would have been him.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it was the sorry guy that he was supposed to be working with.
Yeah, that's terrible. Yeah, I mean, that's the sad reality of that. That's scary is real human nature.
Yeah.
That people would prize objects over a human being, but that's probably the scariest thing.
Yeah.
Scarier than any movie, right? At least you get to turn it off and you go back to living. You go out. That's it. Yeah, for sure. And Swift, just for the record, I wasn't at the store that night.
I don't believe you. I don't know. He made sure he threw it in there.
I shopped at the Freeport Best Buy.
Oh, okay. Well, listen, neither was my brother, so we don't got nothing to worry about.
Okay, good, guys. I just want to, for the record, say I wasn't one of those lunatics busting through the doors to grab a TV or something or a toaster oven.
Yeah,
hilarious. People are nuts. Like, seriously, is it that serious? You know,
Yeah,
and that's
yeah,
what the Thanksgiving movie showed. Man, it showed all that stuff. Man, that's why a lot of times you can get behind the killer. There's certain killers in the horror movies that, you know, who comes to mind really? It's like it's Tobin Bell. Like I think he's just creating his own justice system, and you know, behind some of these killers because you see how these other people in the movies are acting, and it's like, well, yeah, you live this in a way, man. You know, and even like a Jason, you feel sympathetic. I mean, nobody's watching the guy. You know, you guys are messing around. I'm dying. I'm drowning. And you leave me there. Well, guess what, mother? I'm back. I'm back.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. You know, and it's those wacky counselors. They deserve it.
Yeah, well, come on. I mean, who's going to deny that you get that little sense of satisfaction when there's always that one son of a bitch that makes it to the end of the movie who you cannot wait for him to catch the axe, the hatchet, whatever, right?
Yeah.
It's like you're like, yes. But
that was like the father in The Curse of Michael Myers. That guy was such a douchebag. Like I was waiting for him to come back. I'm like, please just get this guy. But I want to see more gruesome on that. I want to see time, put him in a chair, take off a fingernail, throw salt in the wound, cut his eyelids open, feed him sleeping pills. All right, I swear to God, I never did that.
Damn, Jim, that's awfully sadistic, man.
No. Well, let's go to some of the comments. Let's switch up real quick.
Let's see what the people got to say.
Let's go. Where do we leave off here? Thanksgiving.
Thanksgiving. Never seen The Shining. Wow.
Who's that? I can't see that. I can't. Oh,
yeah,
Mama
Swift.
Swift.
That's tricky. Yeah.
You got it. Mama Swift. You got to watch The Shining. Absolutely.
And you got to see Johnny's portrayal. You got to see Johnny's portrayal. Johnny Sparks. You got to see his portrayal. Yeah, you got to see that, man.
Oh man, yeah. I mean, I have to brush up on the character a little bit, but you know, I didn't have a lot of time to prep for it, so. Yeah. I'll get it down. I'll do my best to bring it more to life, true to life. Next go around.
You did a great job.
Thanks,
Here we go. Killer Reactions. Yes, indeed.
John,
Killer Reactions says. Killer Reactions says a new. Yeah, there you go. It's on you.
New horror.
What does it say?
Borderline, new horror comedy. Even Ray Nichols, Jack Nicholson's son.
Yes.
That's something I have.
Yeah, that's the one. It just came out a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
Ray Nicholson and Samara Weaving.
Oh, what's it called?
Borderline.
Okay. Has anyone seen it?
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay.
There's so much I have to catch up on. So I appreciate everybody throwing some recommendations.
Yeah, man.
Yeah, that's interesting.
You guys are the best. Has anybody seen Renfield? Yeah, absolutely. I
can't do nothing wrong here.
Renfield was fun. We need a Blob sequel.
Yes, Joe Gallo, I agree with that. But wait a minute, the Blob had a remake.
The remake,
remakes of all time. I might add.
Agreed.
Yeah, that was very good remake.
Yeah.
And
again,
agreed.
Remake something, you got to do it like they did with the Blob, or like they did with Evil Dead. What's his name? Was it Fetty? I think Evil Dead.
Alvarez. Yeah.
Fetty Alvarez. Yeah.
Awesome. Those are the two dare I say best horror remakes of all time.
Absolutely. Very good.
Killer Clowns.
Yes. Yeah. Matt. Listen, Matt is knocking them out the park tonight.
Yeah, man. Shout out to Matt Griffin over there. Left it open for a sequel.
It left it. It did. Brooklyn Diva. No Tricky. I love Nicolas Cage and Pay the Ghost. Face Off, etc. But Renfield seemed like Dracula dead and loving it.
No, I did. I mean, you know what? But this shows you, Nick Cage. I say this guy has some range. He can just do any movie. Like, the guy's fucking amazing.
Yeah, Renfield was pretty good.
He plays himself in every movie in every genre that there is.
You're right. You're right.
Yeah, he's screaming. He's making stupid noise. Arik, we got Arik in the house. Halloween is one of the best horror movies of all time. Love Carpenter. Arik right here. He's a filmmaker himself.
All right.
I appreciate you jumping on here.
All right.
Thanks for coming out, brother.
Appreciate you, man.
Can't wait to see you. Yeah, Friday night, man.
Now, if you want to see a horror movie then yeah, that would be the most horrific thing to see. There's no way I'm wearing lingerie, Joe. Where's your mind? Anyway,
Listen, it's Friday night, man. It's Friday night.
That's it. Happy hour. Let's go.
Whoa. Go back. Jensen Ackles is the new Ghost Rider. Is the new Ghost Rider. Oh, really? Okay, I didn't even know that. Awesome. Not bad. Brooklyn Diva. Disney cartoon movies were my first introduction to horror. Absolutely. Pinocchio was a horror movie. I don't care what anybody says. But real grown-up horror movies was Jaws.
Yep.
Saw it in the theater. Wow. That was the first summer blockbuster.
Yo.
To be clear.
Yeah, Jaws,
and a blockbuster because the line was around the entire block. All four sides of a block. That's when they started calling blockbusters.
Ah.
Yeah, that's wow. See, I didn't even know. Thank you.
Gotcha. Yeah, I didn't know. I didn't know that either. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like I said, man, Swifty's always learning us, man.
Yeah, the guy's a sponge, man, and he's
oh my goodness.
So I appreciate that, Swift. That fact out there. I got to talk about Jaws real quick. This is one of those horror films that it doesn't get talked about enough in our genre. You know, people talk Jaws, but everybody knows it. Spielberg, everybody knows Jaws.
Yeah.
This movie alone, single-handedly, fucked up the beach scene. Nobody's going to the water. That's it.
Well,
nobody.
Right. Well, no, you go to the beach, they just will never go in the water.
Nobody goes.
That's the thing. Yeah.
Maybe you'll dab your toe in it. When this movie, oh hell no, man! It messed it up.
Yeah.
It messed it up. Like still terrified. 50 plus. It's 50 years, right? When did Jaws come out? Was it 75? Was it?
It was 70 something. Yeah,
75.
Yeah. Okay.
50 years, and people are still scared of going to water. I don't swim.
Yeah.
I don't swim. I know.
Dude, just look at the movie poster. You just look at the poster. You don't even need to see the movie. You're already terrified.
Oh man.
You never go in the water.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
I drowned. I know how to drown. I almost drowned in 4 foot. They said, Jimmy, just stand up. I said, no, man.
He thought Jaws was coming.
Listen, man.
Hey, now listen. You guys are listening right now to 3 guys from an area. We're from New York. We are surrounded by beaches.
Yeah.
20 minutes any direction, you're gonna have a beach around you. We surrounded by beaches. Beaches is part of our culture. Growing up in New York, beaches, the public swimming pools, and the fire hydrants in the street. That's our culture.
Right. Yeah.
And it had us scared to go to the beach, go in the water. It had us scared.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
100%, man.
Bro, and I used to go fishing with my dad. You know, he was a big fisherman. He had a boat, and I was thinking about it after I saw the movie. He used to tie 25, 30-foot rope to the boat. We put on life vests. He'd throw a buoy. We go out there. We swim in the ocean. We wouldn't think anything of it. And years later, I said to my dad, I was like, Dad, were you just using me for chum? Like to sharks to the boat? I was like, what was wrong with you? Because he was an ex-Navy guy. He would jump into shark-infested waters and do the back float or whatever. He didn't. He was one of those old school guys, like kind of like Popeye a little bit. And so it dawned on me later. I said to I said like, what the hell was wrong with you throwing us out there like that? I really felt like a worm on a hook.
No, that's wild, man.
Well, listen, I think back then we weren't having all of these shark attacks like we have been in the last few years. Like every summer that I've gone to the beach, I've seen either sharks or dolphins every summer, without fail, and it was never like that before.
I think
it was never like that before.
It's the temp.
Yeah,
I believe when it's hot, when it's summer, the water's colder, and vice versa. Winter water's warm. I could be wrong on that, but I believe it's something to do definitely with the climate. I do want to get to the comments. So I want to go back to some of the
comments. Let's do these comments.
We got to get back on the comedy.
We appreciate you guys with the comments. Definitely. Don't forget prom night. Absolutely. Prom night. Yes. That was funny. That was a comedy too. That was comedic.
Yeah. No, scared of that now.
I'm scared of that now.
He says, oh my God, the original
prom night. Yep.
1980 prom night. Classic. That's like a staple. Yeah. I mean, the one they had in
New Prom Night was okay, but the first blows away. I like the New Prom Night. The New Prom Night was good, but yeah, number one was it was the time. Yeah, that was good. I liked it.
Okay. It was if it's 2000. I think it was like the 2008 Prom Night, if I'm not mistaken. If that's
2008, 2007, somewhere in there. Yeah, that was good.
It was decent. It was okay.
Yeah. I liked it. It was good.
It was
nothing crazy. I love Jamie Lee Curtis. Oh, me too. Oh my God, her character and Mother's. Oh, okay. I didn't watch that one. Mother's Boys. I didn't watch Mother's Boys.
She's another one, man. Her range is crazy as an actress.
I only watched it because of Idris Elba. Yeah. Another fun fact: Idris Elba, that actor, he used to DJ for my boy. He used to DJ parties for him. He was a DJ before he was an actor. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
Where? In Brooklyn? In Brooklyn?
Yeah. In New York. Yeah. Yeah.
No kidding. Wow.
Yeah. Idris Elba and Luther and The Lion. Yeah. The Lion movie. That's called Beast. Was fantastic. But No Good Deed. He scared me. Oh yeah, No Good Deed.
No Good Deed was insane.
Yeah. That was back in 2008. Yep. JC, what up?
JC in the house. The missus in the house. Here we go.
Hello, JC.
There we go.
Oh my God, I thought of the horror movie Jack Frost.
Yes, thank you for Diva. That movie was so over the top, man. That 97 Jack Frost, this Killer Snowman.
Yes.
There were some one-liners in there.
Yeah. Good movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I loved it. It's one of those horror movies. It was just so over the top that it was great. It was really good.
Yeah,
it reminded me like Uncle Sam. Again, it's another one I talk about.
Yeah, like Uncle Sam.
Uncle Sam is another one.
Yeah.
So what do we got here? Yeah.
Jimmy, you're super quiet. He's a little shy tonight.
Yeah, I mean, I only woke up past the neighborhood. But okay, Joe.
Yeah.
Happy Friday.
All right, happy Friday.
Happy Friday. Candyman was a victim. Yeah.
Absolutely. Candyman was a victim.
And you know what, man? Speaking of Candyman, on a side note here, I think they had showed at Tony Todd's final role, the Final Destination Bloodline. People were talking about that. His images, man, he didn't look good at all in that. Very. He looked sick on the camera, which is terrible, man. It really is, man.
I didn't even watch the trailer. I didn't even watch it.
I really don't want to watch it. I just seen like the picture that they were popping online.
Okay. Yeah.
We got here Matt. Not as good,
but Dr. Sleep. Okay. Yeah. Okay.
You know what? Also, there was a TV version of The Shining. I forgot. You guys remember this?
The Shining. Yeah.
The Shining. Yeah. It was like late 90s. And I actually enjoyed that one. The guy had a mallet instead of a thing. Remember, it's been so long since I've seen it. I remember there was a Shining, and that was actually pretty good as well.
Yeah.
What do we got here? And that was funny. A lot of funny moments in there. With the him as Jack Torrance.
Several remakes. Yeah. The Dentist. Yeah. The Dentist. Yes. I agree. Well, let me talk about some comedy horror that takes it back. Like I remember being a kid on Sundays, and Johnny, you probably remember this too. And Sundays, like on Channel 9, Channel 11 afternoon, you'd have the Abbott and Costello, and it would be with the Universal monsters, Frankenstein, Dracula, Wolfman, everything like that. Like those were comedy horrors, but they were completely faithful to the spirit of the Universal monster movies, and it was completely faithful to the spirit of Abbott and Costello's act. Like those were well done, and those were the pillars to me of horror comedy. And then you got like if you watch the original Invisible Man, it was a horrific tale, but you had little funny parts in there. It was like it kind of reminded me a little bit of like Chaplin, like these types of guys. You just have funny stuff happening where you just laugh. Yeah, So we have examples of comedy and horror all the way back then. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, that's a good point, Cliff.
For sure.
Abbott and Costello is, that's OG of comedy actor, man. And I mean, who doesn't love their film, especially everybody knows like Abbott and Costello meet Frankenstein. That was one of the first I think it was one of the first films that I've seen with my pops when I was younger. I seen that
Wow.
way younger.
Yeah.
I remember.
Yeah.
But I didn't even consider it a horror. Even at a young age, it was comedy. Oh, it's Frankenstein. Okay. But the way they delivered it
But
to
the horror in that movie. You know what I mean? Like
yeah,
it felt.
Yeah,
you
think of
know,
the time.
like
Think of the time. Yeah, that those movies were coming out. At the time, the costumes, the makeup, it was all cutting edge for what was that? 30s and 40s maybe, or 50s, whatever the time period was, and
Yeah.
black and white, which adds to that classic feel.
That
And
atmosphere. Yeah.
and if I'm not mistaken, even some of the original actors that were known for playing those Universal monsters were in those episodes.
Yep.
So it makes it right.
Thanks.
So it makes it even more timeless. And they're great. And Swift and I were talking about this recently. Growing up, we used to see those movies playing on with our parents, our dads in particular. We were talking about this, and I said, as a kid, I could never appreciate it. And I never, unfortunately, took an opportunity to bond with my dad over those movies because I was too young to appreciate it. And now I watch them, or as I got older, I started to appreciate them. And now I watch them and have a whole different perspective and how you fully appreciate them and how great they really were and how talented they were. Guys like Abbott and Costello, who's so charismatic. And then you come to learn about their real life stories and how much struggle they went through back then at the time and everything. Same thing with all of them, all of those classic, Three Stooges, not particularly horror, but all of those great old school classic shows and actors always seem to go through these personal struggles for some reason. And even going back beyond, kind of a little even before Abbott and Costello, you have, which I always talk about this. I don't know if people agree with me, but have you guys seen March for the Wooden Soldiers?
Oh,
Babes in Toyland, it's also called.
Babes, yeah.
So-
Classic. I watched it
Both
around-
versions. Both versions.
Color in black and white. Yeah. So to me, I mean, again, I didn't really appreciate it much as a kid, even though it was on, I think it was at every Thanksgiving. It used to be on the TVs in the house. But as I got older and I started to appreciate it, and I love watching that all the time. And you have Laurel and Hardy, again, another classic comedy duo. And if you think about it, that movie, when I was a kid and I saw the Bogeymen.
The Bogeyman,
Dude, right? Come on. It was, they were basically people in potato sacks with these funky masks on. And it was still terrible. If you're a little kid and you see them and you're like, whoa, like that's pretty scary. Right.
Yeah.
If you're a little kid and you see that. And so, yeah, so you have the common, right? So I think March of the Wooden Soldiers was like 1930 something, wasn't it? Or like 1930s or 40s or 40s. So I know it's a very old movie.
It was either 40 or it was 1940 or 41 maybe. I don't remember.
Something. Okay.
Maybe
Yeah, no,
38.
it's somewhere right. And so to me, I think about that, and even as just goofing 34. Okay, so even as a
34,
cosplayer,
wow.
dude, I thought like how nostalgic would that be to recreate the original Bogeyman costume to bring out to a convention just to see if anybody would recognize it, right? I'm showing my I'm showing my age here, but to me, that's a classic movie that has comedy, horror, and it's a little dark. If you watch this, you know what I'm talking about. So if there's certain scenes in there, certain things that happen, it's kind of dark, man. And
yeah, absolutely.
So but that's definitely one of maybe the one most overlooked original comedy horror movies.
I agree. That's a good point too, Johnny. Yeah, really. I didn't think of that. I
gotta write that down.
The Bogeyman.
Oh, yeah. Well, think about it. If you think about living under that premise, right? It's kind of like if you're a religious person. Yeah. So if you're bad, you get banished to this place where the monsters are going to eat you. So if you do bad deeds, you go to hell and you're tormented for eternity. So, I mean, at least maybe the monsters kill you quick, but but you know what I'm saying? It's kind of you're under that premise of you better behave or you're going to get banished and the monster's going to get you. So, yeah, it's it's a little bit of a dark film.
Sharktopus versus werewolf is hilarious. I know the names. Listen,
I'm laughing
I
at
love
the
those.
name.
I love those creature features
I did
too.
see it. Yeah,
Yeah,
the
I
sci-fi
love those
movies.
creature features. Yeah, like
Yeah.
Shark Night 3D, Piranha 3D. When those started coming out, they were horrors. But they were
Sharknado.
comedies. It was awesome. Sharknado. I saw that at the movies. It played for like a day or two in the movie theaters, and then it premiered on TV like the next day, the Saturday. It played in theaters on the Friday, or it was a Thursday or Friday, and then Saturday it premiered on Sci-Fi.
Wow.
Some of those movies,
They were
man,
like,
too, they're over the top. They just don't really talk about like, yeah, I think like this is why if you look at all different genres out there, you know, action, drama, comedy, and then even the subgenres and horror, like it always boils down to like people enjoy comedy, you know, comedy movies and horror movies. And then when you mix both of them together, I feel like it's just a masterpiece. People like us, especially, you know, and that's why, you know, thinking about this connection, I feel it's necessary. I really feel like you can't have, I mean, you can have a straight horror film. But now you think about it, all these little things that are thrown in here, maybe some one-lines, maybe some like slapstick kind of comedy and in these horror films, whatever it is, there's always some sort of elements of, there's almost like, you know, comedy in there. But very few are just straight horror and horrific. And I think when you think about like based on a true story movies, you know, a lot of horror films like that, or serial killers and stuff like that, those are more serious and more, you know, horrific. It's just like, oh, this really happened, or this could really happen.
Scream.
Well, you know, yeah, Scream is okay, fine, but you know, most of them that come to my mind at least are, you know, when you see these true crime and stuff like that, a lot of that's real serious stuff because you get intrigued by the fact of it being a real story. But like,
well, Jim, you're talking about grabbing somebody's emotions, so to speak. So, like you're talking about the connection, right? So, if you find something relatable, or like you say, the way you connect with people is make them laugh, right? They're having a good day, make them laugh. They're having a bad day, make them laugh. People look at they go to see a comedy, let's say, because they want to laugh. They had a long week, long day, whatever it is, right? So there's the connection. If you can make people laugh, right? That's great. And now, if you could get people a little bit of an adrenaline dump, let's say a little jump scare or something that they maybe have a fear of, you get a little adrenaline. So they're laughing, they get a little adrenaline. It's kind of like you get all of these things going on inside, and
you get a roller coaster of emotions. That's what you want to take people on that ride.
Yeah,
you know, and you know what? The emotional roller coaster. It's the oldest ride, and it has the longest line.
The longest line, baby.
Because, like, man, it's a recipe for success in a film. You know, when you can make people terrified and then laugh in the same movie, man, you got to win. And I think that's why they're doing it so much right now. There's like right now, and I've said this so many times, it's never been a better time to be a horror fan. You know, right now, because of the technology, because of the, you know, more, I'm starting to see more original concepts finally. You know, the 80s started everything. The 80s really was like the blueprint for horror, and everybody that did a horror movie previously wanted to jump on that bandwagon in the 80s. You know, 90s, it was like down. It was a little leveled out, and it all just started shooting up again. I think like 2018, my opinion. And where we're at now, it keeps going up. You know, it's like, can you top this situation with different films? There's so many horror movies coming out now. Every week there's something. Now. I mean, today, you know, The Woman in New York came out, and there was another one. I forgot the name of it. It was with Jenny Ortega. It was A Woman in the Yard.
Yeah, Death of the Unicorn. Death of a Unicorn.
There it is, another one. It's wild, man. It's just, but you know what's cool about it is they're doing things now more than what they did before about drawing the younger audience in, you know, and I think one of the methods by doing that is really adding more comedy to these horror films. And you're drawing not only young audience, you're drawing families in. I mean, I seen a family come out to one of the local stuff that, you know, we were doing, like out here, House of 1,000 Corpses. What 5-year-old knows who Captain Spaulding and Baby Firefly are? I mean,
Swift. That's what kind of a kid like a kid like Swift would be there, right?
That's right.
Yeah, of course. He's sitting there like, yeah, I seen you hack that chick up those cheerleaders. Oh man. Yeah. I mean, you know,
well, look at the 70s, Jim, right? Like it's, again, each decade is kind of indicative of the times, right? And so, yeah, if you think about the 70s horror movies, they were all very serious. They were dark, very serious. I can't,
brutal,
I mean, I'm sure that,
brutal films. Brutal.
Yeah. I can't, I mean, off the top of my head, I can't think of, I'm again, not a historian, but I can't think of any all the classic 70s horror movies are hardcore. Like this Take No Prisoners. It's brutal.
Yeah,
no,
absolutely.
You're right, and it works. It works if it's done right. I mean, like really, but I feel like because there's been so many different things already done, how are you going to do something similar but make it different, or how you got to come up with original concept? If not, you know, I still love those movies that just are straight terrifying, but I feel like
for sure,
a little. I need a sprinkle here and there of comedy in my horror films.
Well, introduce the 80s, right?
Yeah, bro. Yeah, 80s. That's why I love the 80s. And in the 90s. Like nowadays, we're getting, you know, bombarded with different films that are loaded with comedy. The Entity. Oh my God, Entity was nuts. Yeah,
the Entity.
The Entity. Oh, yeah. Mm-hmm. That was Barbara Hershey, right? Wasn't that Barbara Hershey? Yeah.
Yeah. Trilogy of Terror.
Yeah.
Trilogy of Terror.
Yep. Yep. It's Alive. Oh man, that another freaky movie.
Yeah. And John, I think to your point, man, it was the 80s. The 80s that, you know, we started getting this. It was just.
But they were like, we need to have a little bit more. You know, we need a little comedy with that dark edge.
Let me tell you guys one horror sequel, and it's a sequel to one of the most beloved horror films from the 70s. And the sequel took place in the 80s. It came out in the 80s. It was Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. That one was a little, you know, you go from Texas Chainsaw Massacre, the original, you know, brutal film, you know, our minds made it more brutal than it really was, what we saw on screen. But it burned, it etched something into our psyches. And then you go to 86, right? 86, Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2. People still love it. For me, it was a little too funny. It was a little too hokey. People still love it though. They hold it near and dear to their hearts. But for me, it was a little too much. Like I felt it was a little too funny. What did you guys think?
Right.
And what do you guys in the chat think? What do you guys think about Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 and the comedy elements? What do you think about it?
That's the Matthew McConaughey is in that one? Is that
no?
Or is
Bill Moseley?
Yeah, Bill Moseley.
Bill Moseley's in there.
Okay. Okay, so that's when Tommy. Okay, I know what he looks like from that sequel, Tommy.
Dennis Hopper. Dennis Hopper also was in it, I believe. I think Dennis Hopper was in it.
Oh, I think you're right.
Carolyn Williams was also was Stretch in the movie. Carolyn.
Yeah.
What I think, and that's a good point, Swift. I'm glad you brought Texas Chainsaw up, because you go from one of the most sadistic, brutal films, like you said, that scarred people, right, in the 70s, to now, a decade later plus, this is one of the most ridiculous things we've seen, and how they switched up. It was a huge transition, and that's on the time. That spoke on the time, and that's what one thing horror does that no other genre does is speak on the times when that movie comes out. Like it talks like about whatever's going on in that time period and speaks on even current issues in pretty horrific ways, in the way the world is at the time. And I think like right there in '86, man, we got Texas Chainsaw 2. It was, for me, it was night and day. It was night and day. It was one movie is straight horror, the other one's comedy, but it worked.
Same director.
It worked. Yeah.
Toby Hooper, same director. Yep.
Yeah, same director. And he showed you he could mess with you both ways. Now, hold on. I want to Matt Griffin real quick. 2022 remake of Texas Chainsaw. Yes.
Okay.
That bus scene. Holy shit, man.
That was wild. But also think about what the original Texas Chainsaw did. It almost bankrupted the state of Texas because nobody wanted to go there.
Listen, that's when you're doing it right.
No kidding. I was like, take Texas off my list.
Other than Texas,
but like you said, that's what. Yep. Yeah, right. It's like, okay, I'll go somewhere else where there's not a inbred family of homicidal maniacs. I like to, I like a little excitement on my vacation, but I want to make it back in one piece.
Yeah. Oh man. Yeah. But yeah, you're right. Like that, the way that was promoted, that movie, this based on true events, right? The only other movie to draw more eyes on it than Texas Chainsaw, with that kind of promotion, with that statement, it was true event, was Blair Witch Project. I feel like the way they promoted that film. I know it's two different films, but still the way it was promoted too. In Blair Witch, there was nothing. Those found footage movies, man, there's nothing. There's no comedy really in those. It's just pretty fucking horrific.
Did you like Blair Witch?
Honestly, I was. Yeah, I mean, thinking about it, like it was. It's not one of the movies that.
I'll tell you. I'll help you. I never watched them. I just never found it interesting. So if that helps you kind of, yeah. I mean, if you say if you guys both say that it's worth watching, I'll definitely watch them.
Okay, this is the thing. The Blair Witch Project was something to watch at the time. It was the dawn of the internet as we know it now. There was really no social media, so they promoted and marketed this thing. Listen, we found this footage from these college kids. These college kids were shooting a film on an urban legend, and they disappeared, and we found the footage. So now we're going to put that out in the movies. That's how it was marketed. They had documentaries. There's one called I think it's called The Legend of the Blair Witch. That came on all of Viacom's networks back then. And I was a kid. And I'm seeing everything coming. I'm seeing everything. They're talking about that. They're interviewing people, like local people and everything. It was marketed as real. So that's why it worked as well as it did. Once the actors came out, maybe about a year later, because remember, there was no social media. So it wasn't like, whatever her name is. Oh, we saw her at the coffee shop. It was nothing like that back then. The internet was just starting to turn into what we know it is now. There was a transitional phase. So they capitalized on that. If you've never seen it, I mean, don't watch it expecting a great movie because it sucks. But given how it was presented, how it was marketed, everything worked because of the time they were in.
Gotcha.
So if you keep that in perspective, it'll make more sense because people are like, was that real? People watched in the theater and they're like, yo, shit, that ending, man. What happened to them? Like people really thought it was real. And then when we found that it wasn't, it's like, this shit is trash.
Yeah. That's smart marketing, man. That's very smart.
Yeah.
Very smart. Yeah, for sure.
I mean, they capitalized on it at the right time.
Again, it was the right time. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Go
ahead, Johnny.
Especially because, like you said, if you think it's something that can happen, like Texas Chainsaw or in Blair Witch, or you hear about people going missing and all of these bizarre stories, and then like Swift was explaining, he marketed as something that this is a real event. So it makes you, to me, there's a lot of these instances like these movies where you could end up in one these situations makes it even a little bit more realistic and scary. And so kind of like like those the Final Destination. Yes, people down the list.
Chainsaw Massacre.
I couldn't read that. Then don't go to the hills. Oh yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. No vacation in the hills.
Nah, man.
No vacation in the hills.
Mountain people.
If I move off grid, I'm gonna build a fortress. Forget about it.
Aesthetically horror. What's up? Thanks for coming out.
Appreciate you guys, man.
That's
Jumping on a Friday night. It's amazing. Seriously.
That's a good one.
What we got? Wrong Turn.
Well, yeah. Those were comedy. I like the first Blair Witch. Yeah, it was of the time. It was a perfect storm of all different. Listen, they even had a website. That was like one of the first concepts that got a website. So it kind of legitimized it. It's like, and the website had it told you about the story. They're like, yo, if you've seen these people, I don't know if it said if you saw these people because it was already years had passed, but they're like, these people are missing since such and such a date. So I remember that. I remember I was on the computer and I was looking it up, and it just stayed in my head. I'm like, wow, this is crazy. These college kids was trying to make a movie for their thesis or whatever. But Ouija board is another. Oh yeah. Yep. Slither. Yeah, Slither. Breathe.
Yeah.
Slither is a nice comedy horror. That's James Gunn.
Yeah, Ouija boards, you can keep them. Yeah. I'll never bring a Ouija board in my house.
Listen, Chicky used to use that. Well, it's called Ouija. Yeah, it's called Ouija.
Yeah.
I would never touch it.
Listen,
Same here.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you quick. I gotta tell you because now you got me traumatized here. I hear Ouija board. So I don't know if you guys remember last year. Was it last year? Yeah, it was last June. Angie, shout out to Angela, the owner of the Waldorf Estate of Field, which is the first location of Hell House, the original Hell House movie, the Abaddon Hotel. So, she uses it's a haunted attraction come haunt season, but she also does a different event. They were filming the series. I can't spoil some things I found out about it, but they had me on an episode. I didn't want to do it. I swear to God, I'm not sleeping in the house. Okay, I've seen stuff, and we got to get Mama Swift on here to talk about some ghost stories too one day. We got to line it up for that.
100%.
Yeah, we do.
Man, the house is legit. It is legit haunted. Okay.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
In the goddamn basement, and they were doing the Ouija board. I'm supposed to hear. Bro, I was hearing things coming through the transmitter on it, and people saying things, whispers, like legit. No, it was legit stuff. And if you weren't a believer beforehand, you definitely believed that there were ghosts in this house. And I would love to talk about like some of the other people's experiences there. That night sleeping in there, they had I don't even know what they call REM pods and all these different equipment here that would go off if there's spirits or energy going in. And dude, man, it was wild. And like that night they had a Ouija board. They were doing a seance, and things were going crazy in the house. And I'm like, I'll never go near this guy. They wanted me to sit with them with a Ouija with the I'm not touching it. I'm not. No. That's it, bro. They're gonna take me. That's it.
Yeah.
Take me away. I'm done. I'm not leaving the house. I barely slept that night. It was like an hour, and they were filming the whole thing. And I was dumb, and I had music on, and all the ramp, everything was going off. It was wild, man. Energy is crazy. Anyway, I digress.
Well, let me tell you something about that house. When we shot Hell House of 1,000 Corpses, we went in that basement. You can feel it. You can feel it. I listen. That was real.
What, like
you can feel it. You can feel the energy.
Yeah, you could definitely feel. And I think it was it Josh that was getting short of breath in there, hard at it.
Yeah.
It was like, because it was what happened while we were filming. Little side note. So the psychic medium, she would write down. She was listening. She was writing everything down that was being said to her. Man, she had a whole story, a history that happened over there, and it matched with the history that was there. Like it was wild. Like some pieces, and there were other pieces that we found out. But it was absolutely crazy, man, what was being said. And the cameraman, one of the cameramen, hit the floor. Felt like he got punched in the stomach. He couldn't breathe. It was sick, dude. So yeah, and
Wow.
I even think like for me, it's like seeing is believing, but man, I felt there was energy in there, man. There was not so good energy and
Yeah.
in that
Yeah.
house, especially by the bar area and especially in the basement.
And then we're shooting there like a bunch of schmucks.
Yeah.
A little bit before that, we're there shooting for all day like a bunch of schmucks.
We're there having fun by the bars. Yeah, but there was
You said, "Hey, this is a good idea, right? Let's go."
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sounds like fun. Let's go see what we got here.
Yeah, let's go hang out and have an evil spirit get attached to us and come home with me.
I believe in paranormal because I experienced it, but I never use a Ouija board to talk to them. Yeah, no, it exists. It exists, 100%. I lived across the street from a haunted house in Staten Island. Yep.
Oh God.
Oh,
I
no
think
kidding.
I think that's the story. She was telling you before.
Look, David said, no,
Automatic writing. Yep.
I guess that's what it is. It was a psychic. She was writing, but like the story, and then there was soldiers that were ambushed over there, and one got killed. He was looking for his mother. There was 2 kids saying, "Daddy's angry." It was wild what she was saying. She was in tears and everything. And I'm like, yeah, well, it matched up with what somebody else had said, another psychic at a different time. So it was just the stories there is wild, man. Like we got to get them to talk about some of the filming behind the scenes.
St. Augustine, Florida has a bunch of haunted places. Yes, Matt, that's the truth. I remember you telling me about that.
No, listen, you know what? And that's a whole other episode, like just on hauntings alone, paranormal. Definitely would love to get some people on to talk about like some real life.
Absolutely. Have a nice little panel.
Yeah, I love hearing these stories, and I'm content hearing everyone's testimonials. I'm going to stay home where it's nothing freaky going on.
Yeah. So let me. I want to ask. Killer Reactions, Killer Point of View podcast, Brian. I want to ask Brian. Buffy the Vampire Slayer. I know you're doing the watch along with that, right? The movie that came out initially was a comedy with Christy Swanson and Luke Perry and Pee Wee Herman was in it. What do you think about the transition from the movie to the television series and the difference of tone? What do you think about that? Sound off if you're still here. Yeah, just want to know that. But because the Buffy the Vampire Slayer, the film,
Rutger Hauer was in there.
Straight comedy. Yeah. Rutger Hauer, he was in there, but it was a straight comedy. It was a pure comedy, like a teen comedy and horror film. You know.
Yeah.
But then when the series came out, they went darker. From what I believe.
I never seen the series. I seen the movie back in the day, but I wasn't really a huge Buffy fan. So remember the weird things that happened at our house in PA. Oh man.
Yes, absolutely. How could I forget it? I really believe that was on like a certain transitional plane over there. I think it was great. This is Killer Reactions. I think it was great. The show fit the other shows around that time. Okay. Did it work? What worked better, the film or the TV series? Brooklyn Diva. I love the series. Okay.
Yeah, I mean, because like that's a good point too. Because
Christy Swanson was in the series, right? Wasn't there was different in the series, right?
You're breaking up, Johnny. I heard. I think I understood what you said. Christy Swanson was in it.
Yeah. So with the series, was there a different actress that played in the series?
Yeah, it was Sarah Michelle Gellar. Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Okay. Yeah.
Buffy.
Right.
Angel was good too, and OMG, the episode where Angel was a puppet. Oh yeah, I never watched it. Angel was a demon. No, he was like a demon, or was he also a vampire? The show had a lot of comedy in it. Oh, awesome. Okay. Also, let us know when you're doing the watch-alongs as well. Donald Sutherland as a vampire hunter and Kiefer as a vampire eagle. Uncle Thanksgiving. Yo, Matt, you kidding? You ain't kidding, brother.
Yeah.
What do you guys think about?
Well, yeah. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. No, you go.
No, I'm just I talk too much anyway. I was just sitting here thinking about the fact that I never seen the Buffy series.
In the show, vampires were demons. Oh, okay. Vampires were demons in the show. Wow. See, now I want to go and do the watch along with Killer
Killer
Point of
Rihanna.
View. I think when people think of Buffy, it's Sarah Michelle Gellar. Yeah, she owned that role. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Brian, I never saw that show. I never saw the show. That's why I wanted to do a watch along, but
What
I
did
couldn't
you
do it
watch?
that day. Chris, what's up, Chris?
Chris,
This
what's
is the
going on,
man,
Chris?
This is the pop culture punk
Pop culture
himself.
punk? My man. Let me tell you something,
Buffy
Chris.
the movie was my jam. Never dug the series. It was 290s. 290s grunge.
Mm.
This
I
is
got
the
Yeah, the
man
movie
right
was a
here.
good find.
This man right here, Chris Styles, okay, creates some incredibly witty and just over the top mashups. Pop culture punk. If you don't follow him,
Yes.
get out from under your rock and follow
Yeah.
this guy. He's a fucking
Yeah.
genius. Chris, you're
He is
smart.
a
I love your
genius.
stuff. Seriously, with the way you put it together. It has me rolling. I look forward
And
to seeing
listen,
the mashups that he has.
and
Yeah.
and he's a hell of a moderator at the he's on the convention scene. He's a moderator for a lot of these panels with the stars of the movies and everything. He's one hell of a moderator, man. He's a witty guy, cool dude. He's one of the best.
I mean, you could definitely. I never met him. I can tell he's just witty as hell. Just the way he matches
Yeah.
things up together.
Yeah.
Pop culture punk. Check him out.
Thanks for coming in, bro. Appreciate you.
I appreciate you swinging on here, Chris, and keep killing it out there, bro.
Yeah, she did own it. She was good in the Wolfpack series too. Okay, I'm not familiar with that one.
Yeah, I don't know. Wolfpack series. I gotta check. There's some things.
Actually, Lost Boys is another perfect. Yes, Hardware Comedy.
Yes.
Yo,
Yeah.
listen, Matt is batting 1,000 tonight. You guys are
Oh
too
no,
kind.
man, we're only speaking the truth, Chris. Only speaking the
All
truth.
facts, bro. All facts.
Yep. Lost Boy. Yeah, okay, well, let's think about Lost Boys a second, okay? Here you go. You have vampires in there in the movie, and then of course you have Corey Feldman in the film, Corey Heyman
The Corey connection.
Somebody in the fucking writer room, okay? I gotta stop cursing. I don't know if there's kids on here. I apologize if there are. Somebody's in the writer room, and they're like, you know what? We're missing something. We need a saxophone performance by Tim Capella. You can't continue, but he has to be shirtless, and I still believe he has to get on that saxophone, and we're gonna throw this man in what's supposed to be a horror vampire film, playing this phenomenal tune on the saxophone here. What drugs were you on when you wrote this? But I mean, it's not great. But you were some heavy acid, bro.
It was Joel Schumacher, man. What do you expect? He gave Batman and Robin nipples. You know, he gave Batman and Robin nipples. He was off the wall with it. He was off the wall with it.
How great would it have been if he was the head vampire, Tim Capella? Can you imagine? How great, instead of Max, funny. That would have been great, right? But Jim, again, look at the time, man. Look at the time. You're talking about mid to late 80s.
Yeah, 87.
The sexual kind of revolution.
Yeah, and I think now, Tim, if he was the vampire, what you remember, like fucking, what is it, Power Rangers, right? When he had the whistle, Tim Capella,
the Green Ranger.
Yeah, the Green Ranger, right? There's the saxophone, and Tim comes out.
Yeah,
that would have been amazing. Yeah. That would have been hilarious too. I mean, it was hilarious.
That would have been funny.
I mean, the guy. Have you seen the guy at conventions lately? I didn't see him in person. I see videos and pictures online. The man still has it. He still knows. Guy, I mean, I want to be in his shape when I get his age. It's fucking phenomenal. Guys,
that dude is still moving them hips. He's still moving them hips.
He's moving and grooving out there, man. It's shaking and making. Nobody's scared. It's wild. But again, that talk about comedy. That was great. That was Johnny. Yeah. Oh, damn it, Johnny.
Oh, we lost Johnny.
Connection.
Fright Night 85 had the perfect mix of horror cover. Yes, in fact. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh,
yeah.
Yes.
Facts.
Yeah. Wow. Friday Night 2 might even be better. Okay, that's definitely a conversation. Well, I can see where. I mean, I like the original, and seeing what's her name, Marcy Darcy, before Amanda Bierce before she was in Married with Children. I think because that came out in
Yeah.
'85. Married Children started in '87.
Yeah. And also, everybody, check out Chris Styles on VCR Redux on YouTube. Check him out.
Oh, I got
You won't be
okay.
upset. VCR Redux.
Yeah, Once Bitten. It was that Jim Carrey's.
Once bitten. Yeah. Yep.
First movie he was in.
Brian's on the money tonight, baby.
Yeah, man.
100%.
Great. Yeah, man.
Once
That's another
bitten.
good.
I actually got that written down. That's right underneath Fight Night for me.
And that's the same. Let me see something. Is that the? That's the same year. That's '85.
Once bitten.
I think
Yeah.
'85. Yeah. Was it '85?
Fright Night is 86, I believe. Once bitten is 85.
I think they're both 85. I think, yeah.
Oh, they're both 85? Okay.
Yeah, Vampire in Brooklyn, another one. Yeah, dude,
Vampire in Brooklyn, yep. Yeah. Eddie Murphy in a vampire in a horror movie. I love Vampire in Brooklyn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So many great films. And I'm
That was, he was Nick Ashford.
Yeah, dude, I gotta write some of these down. I mean, I've seen Vampire in Brooklyn, but I'm saying like some other films that have been mentioned tonight.
Yeah. Listen, the viewers are on fire tonight. They're firing on all cylinders, man. We love you guys. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you
You
guys.
gotta come on. Oh man, I love to hop on. Yes, absolutely. Yo, Chris, appreciate it. We gotta get killer reactions on here too. We gotta get Chris on here. We gotta get listen.
Yeah, go ahead, Swift. I'm sorry, I keep cutting you. Go ahead. You were talking.
No, we got a lot of love in here, man. We gotta show love and get love. We got love for all of you guys, man. We appreciate you for coming out on Friday night, man. You could be anywhere, but you rocking out with us. We understand it. We Swifty Nicole. Hey Nicole, how you doing? And she loved the Vampire in Brooklyn. Okay. Nicole, how's everything?
You know, I gotta say, to your point, man, we have this community. We have the. I don't care. I'm gonna say we have the best fan
blessed.
base.
We're blessed. Yeah.
No, really, we are most passionate.
Yeah.
And creative, in my mind.
Mm-hmm.
People think Devil
Dog with Richard Crenna is cheesy, but I love it.
Oh,
I never saw that one. That's Colonel Troutman from First Blood, Rambo. Richard Crenna.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, good, because thank you for telling me that. I've never seen that film either. That's another one I got to write down. Thank you, Brooklyn Diva, dropping some gold tonight as well.
She will fill you in after tomorrow. Did anyone mention? No, we didn't mention Idle Hands yet. We haven't mentioned it.
Johnny Sparks back, baby.
I'm back.
Welcome back. Back in effect.
Baby. I'm back.
Yeah. Yeah, we got Idle Hands with that was Devin Sawa, right? Devin Sawa was in that one. It's like 1989, 1998, around there.
Oh, it's like late 90s, right? It was late 90s.
Yeah, Idle Hands, yeah. Horror comedy, 100%.
Dude, and it's funny because it really, I guess now, Johnny, you brought up earlier, 70s was just straight horrific. And I think it's since the 80s started up after that, it just kept moving. It just kept moving.
Because I think they wanted to like really capture the audience, like really send them home like scared. Scared to go into a dark room, scared to be alone. One of the movies that always haunted me was Don't Be Afraid of the Dark. I don't know if you guys have seen that, the original. Just when they used to say, Sally. I don't know if you remember. That always haunted me. I was always afraid to kind of go in the basement, dark room. It would those whispers, Sally, would just kind of stay in my head. And so, they did a really good job of scaring the bejesus out of you.
Well, the 70s. The 70s as a decade that's just what it was. Like, people have fun, but it was a scary time. It was a scary, scary time, man. Like, look at Hollywood. Like, you had the political thrillers were big, the crime films were big, but you had the revenge films, Death Wish. Like, listen, a lot of people were going through some rough times in the 70s, so it wasn't all happy and everything. It was, people wanted to get out there and take their frustrations out. So Hollywood reflected that. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The vigilante.
That's a very good point.
Mindset.
Yeah, it was different time. Again, it spoke on the time. Yeah,
Revenge.
Hollywood does that with all franchise, like all genres, but really horror, I think, speaks more in depth about what's going on at that particular time. And you know,
Maniac, right? I think Maniac was 70s. Surgeon, right?
1980.
Maniac was 80. Maniac was 80.
Okay. 80. Okay.
Joe
Another
Spinell.
sick, twisted movie.
I can't look at him. I can't look at him the same. I can't. I see him as the loan shark in Rocky. I cannot look at him and then Maniac. Fuck this guy. I'm like, no, this is not Joe. This is, this is what happened. He you know,
he did a great job in that movie too.
Oh my goodness! Absolutely sold it 100%.
Did. You know, I wanted to say something back to your point, Swift. We talk about the community, and we talked about this. I think, John, I may have brought this up to you. I got to bring it up if I didn't. But we talked about, I'm not going to get in depth of details, but there's something I want to do that would bring the entire community together for an event. And not going to get in detail with it, but I will say that it will highlight the people that should be highlighted. The entire community, the horror fans, the business owners, the vendors, the cosplayers, the photographers, the videographers, the content creators. That's what I want to highlight, because honestly, without all of us, there would be no conventions, because nobody would go out to see the celebrities, the talent out there, and respectfully speaking. So there's something I definitely
Swift is out there seeing every movie, which as soon as it comes out. So you know, he's a huge. I mean, really. I mean, Swift.
I appreciate that, man, because you keep me up to speed, Swift.
Yeah,
with a lot of stuff that's going on there.
Yeah, that's a huge part of supporting these studios and everything, and keeping these films relevant. Yeah.
No, I was laughing because Swift and I were talking today earlier, and you went to go see the woman in the yard. That's why I was laughing, because I'm like, oh yeah, you know, he is. He you know, it was out there. So it's good though, because man, you know, you're on top of you have your finger on the pulse.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to do the same thing here myself now. Keep up with, there's a lot of action, a lot of things going on. And I want to keep staying on top of it. I mean, and it helps because we have great content creators and on here, and not even tuning in right now, have their finger that I'm paying attention to. I'm seeing what they're doing, seeing their input. And I'd love to hear everybody's input, because again, this is all subjective, but it's cool to see that, you know, like-minded people, passionate people, dedicated people doing something positive, and something that I enjoy and that you guys enjoy. So there's something, again, we'll talk on that at a later time, but back on the subject at hand, got some good recommendation. I'm looking down here. I want to hold on one second. Let's see what we got. Matt said Dog Soldiers.
Dog Soldiers. Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's an Australian joint, right? Dog Soldiers.
I thought it was the UK. Was it UK?
Oh, it's UK?
Okay,
I'm confusing.
In United Kingdom, yeah, man. I get it's
UK.
For me, at least.
Shopping malls on YouTube now. I think so. Yes, I saw that the other day. It's on YouTube. The full film. Yeah. Thank you, Brooklyn Diva. I'm still waiting for a good scare.
Still waiting, man. Maniac. Oh, Maniac. We were talking about Maniac. Maniac Cop's another good one.
Maniac. Yeah, Maniac Cop is another good one.
Final Girls. I heard of it. Yeah, I didn't see the whole movie though. I seen bits and pieces of that.
Maniac from the 80s with Joe Spinell.
Yep.
I love War of the Gargantuans.
Oh.
People think it's like a joke movie. Okay, I never saw that one.
No, I'm telling you.
Godzilla fan in the house? Brooklyn Diva? Yeah. I go out on a limb and say, if you like War of the Gargantuas.
Let's see. Well, Godzilla?
Yeah, if you like War of the Gargantuas, I'm going to say possibly another Godzilla fan in the house.
The Belcourt, that's Blumhouse. The Belcourt Experiment.
Oh, Johnny. Yeah, Godzilla.
There
Johnny's a big Godzilla.
Yes, Godzilla.
Hold on. Stay tuned, Brooklyn Diva.
Oh, boy.
Don't Gamera too. Don't check. Oh, there we go.
I mean, that's 2014 Godzilla, but
yeah.
That's
There
amazing.
you go.
Yeah, and that's
Hold on.
another thing. Like,
Kaiju. Wow, look at that.
that's
It
amazing.
wasn't meant to be funny, but Maximum Overdrive makes me laugh. Yeah, it was funny parts in Maximum Overdrive, 100%.
What was funny is probably what was going on behind the scenes with Stephen King, and he was on Maximum Overdrive, man. When he made that movie, I don't know.
Yeah. Huh.
Godzilla -1 was excellent. Is excellent. Yeah.
Yes, absolutely.
Absolutely.
Fantastic film. Piece of art.
In fact, I just watched it 2 nights ago.
I have a Godzilla headlight. Wow. Check this out. A Godzilla headlight.
That's
Wow.
amazing.
Like
That's dope.
like this, like yeah.
Oh yeah, Ghidorah. Yeah.
I'm clueless about any of this conversation, so I'm letting you take the reins.
You got to get up on your kaiju, bro.
Yeah,
And I have a Godzilla bank and cup. Wow. Wow.
I
You
get you
really
up to speed
dedicated.
anytime. Yeah.
Yeah, please. I need lessons on Godzilla. I'm not.
No,
Okay.
his head and it lights up. Oh, okay, got you. Oh,
Well,
that's cool.
I think we were talking about starting to do some content showing off some of these collectibles and things like that, and highlighting some of these studios and custom mask makers, and because we would need probably a couple of hours or a couple of shows to kind of go over the stuff I have. So I'd love to do it a little bit at a time, discussion at a time, and like you were saying, Jimmy, go back to highlighting a lot of the foundation of the horror community, which is these custom prop makers and costume makers and mask makers and statues, and so 100%.
Yeah, because they're keeping it going. All of us, we're all keeping it going.
Yeah, it keeps fed my addiction for many years, man.
Yeah.
Oh man, I'll tell you, John. Yeah, we got to get some content with Godzilla content for sure out there. It's it's really something that's not talked about a lot in the horror community. Does anybody have
gargoyles? Oh, gargoyles! I remember that from back in the day. Yeah.
Which
it was. I think it was the 70s, late 70s, maybe, or mid 70s. I think I'm not sure.
Yes. No, yes. I actually have a model of the lead gargoyle guy. That's when they were lived in the caves, right? And they were abducting those people.
The cartoon.
Yeah, I think that was it.
And the cartoon, right.
Yeah.
That was a softer version. No, but no.
Yeah.
Mama Swift is right. There was I think it's Mama Swift, do you remember if it was 60s or 70s? But that movie Gargoyles, 70, what year, Jim?
72.
72.
Right.
72. Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
That was actually for the time also the costume, the what you call it, the effects and everything. Well, the effects weren't that great, but the costumes were very good. Very, very good.
Yeah.
And
no,
that's a very
I remember them being scary looking.
Talk about that.
Yeah, they were scary looking. I remember that. Yeah. Back then.
And there was a well-known actor, again, I forget his name, who played the lead guy. But that was a good, that's a good call. That's a good movie, Gargoyles.
You got a lot of things I got to write down over here. I know what Gargoyle, the cartoon. That's what Bernie. No. Yeah, Mama Swift is on it. There
Bernie Casey.
Bernie Casey. Yes. Yep.
There it is.
Yeah.
It looked really good. Yeah. If it wasn't in the basement, I would go down and show you the little model, custom model that I picked up at a show. But yeah,
we got the bodies down there too, Johnny. You don't want to unveil.
Yeah.
It's in the basement. Put them in the bedroom.
Yo, man, you got to keep that on the DL, man. That's for after the show. We talk about
it. You're gonna be like that, like the Burbs. Remember the end? He opened the trunk, all the freaking skeletons.
You're right.
Yeah.
That was another. I was like, comedy.
Horror. Oh yeah, comedy horror.
Oh, that's a great movie.
Yeah, absolutely.
That was funny. Corey Feldman in that one. Yeah, man.
Another good Corey Feldman movie. I got cut off before with the Lost Boys. Just too bad you guys know I'm a big Lost Boys fan, and that just wanted to say what I was going to add at the time was that I know you were talking about all of that stuff that was going on in that part of the 80s. If you look at how they're all dressed, I think I mentioned this a while ago. If you look at each individual Lost Boy, right, and then you look at Tim Capello, You got this big buff guy on stage playing the saxophone, all the girls in the audience pining over him. But you have this element there where, like I said, it's kind of like a little bit of a sexual revolution, kind of. Because if you look at the way they're dressed, it's kind of that point where a lot of different sexualities were accepted. I like that it was kind of open, where you could look at them and not say, well, interesting. You know, they dressed a little feminine with the jewelry and the clothing, and it was kind of.
Did they have that little cross earring or something like that, like the Shawn Michaels special? I forgot.
Right? Yeah, they had the earrings, they had the long hair. You know, the big band. You know, the hair and. But,
the big hair, the hair, the metal hair.
Big hair, don't care. Yeah, the hair bands.
Yeah, the hair bands.
Great movie all around. And just to change the subject for a second, the Lost Boys are actually. I just saw that they're doing a reunion at Maryland show at Monster Mania. I just saw the post. Kiefer Sutherland, they're all going to be there. So, well, the 4 of them at least. So, just FYI, if anybody missed out on catching them at the show 2 years ago, then there's another opportunity coming up in Maryland.
Yes, I miss 80s hair.
You know what, Brooklyn Beaver? That's it. This is what we're doing. We gotta grow it out. The hair, man. Long hair don't care. Honestly,
David's mullet was no joke. David's mullet was no joke.
I'm going bold somewhere here, but I have a remedy. I can tell you from my mother-in-law gave me this rosemary extra. It's some crazy stuff. I'm going to start doing it.
That works. Yeah.
Oh, it's going to go wild, man. I'm going to grow it out, and it's going to be long. I should be the slick back. I'm throwing the slick back. That's what we're doing. You got to get the fro down, you could just swift. You got to get something big hair time. That's it.
Dude, you could just borrow my David wig.
I mean, that's the easier way, right?
You remember my David cosplay with the big?
There's no easy way out, John.
You know, Jimmy doesn't believe in the easy way of doing anything.
That's it.
Well, it's easier than hair. It's easier than hair plugs. So listen, just borrow the wig.
I'm going old school. I'm putting in work. That's it.
Oh boy,
we're doing it, baby. That's it. I'm going
You're
now.
glutton for punishment, huh?
I'm busting out the LA looks in the jar of mousse again. And it's going down. I remember I used to take the mousse like this. It was like a fucking shaving cream. I'm like, we'll do the hair. It was wild, man. The maintenance was crazy.
Dude, guilty.
Well, let me ask you guys this.
A lot of hair product in my day.
Yeah. Well, actually, I was going to ask you guys a question, but it's moot because as I was thinking about asking you guys the question, I remember the part from the movie. I was going to say, how did they know how to style their hair? They have no reflection, but in the Lost Boys, they had a faint reflection. Or was that because Michael was a half vampire that he could? He was kind of So the real ones didn't have any reflection, but he's a half, so he was kind of translucent.
Correct. Yeah, he wasn't a full vampire yet. That's why he still had.
That's why he still had
translucent reflection. And check this out. So I used to write. She used to have the Farrah Fawcett hairdo. Yeah. My mom used to love Farrah Fawcett back in the day. Who didn't? I may still have my picture from when I was a kid. That poster I had on my wall of Farrah Fawcett. But Swift, the thing with the mirrors. So I think what I had heard with the reason why the vampires are they don't see the reflection is because the mirrors back in the day used to be made with silver or something. There used to be some silver in the mirror or something.
Some silver.
There's something about that with the older mirrors or certain mirrors that have the silver content in it or something. That's the reason why the reflection was they had no reflection. So I don't know. Yeah, something like that. Right. Michael was half.
It's because vampire. Michael was half. Yeah.
He had to make his first kill, and then
if you want to talk about something funny, if any of you guys saw Blackula, the second one, it was like where the dude was turned into a vampire and he was Fly. He always dressed Fly. I forgot the character. I remember it as a kid, but I remember this thing stuck out of my head. He's like, so I could live forever, but I can't see what I look like. It was a real stereotypical type of dude. But he was so Fly, and he couldn't see himself in the mirror. Like he was just feeling himself, and he couldn't see himself in the mirror. So like, man, I could live forever, but I can't see my reflection. You know? So that was something that always stuck out of my memory. I remember
That's
seeing
the
that as a
cool
kid.
joke, man. That's
Yeah,
a cool
yeah.
fate, right? That's
I can't see how good I look. You know, I
Yeah.
remember
right.
something like that.
God damn, we gotta see. Yeah, I mean, that's a shame. That's a shame,
Yeah.
man. Think about it. Like, think about it. You don't know how
Hilarious.
you don't know if you messed up. Who's gonna tell you? You know what I'm saying? Yo, anything good? There's something on my face. Nah, you're good, man. And it's be like, come on, bro.
Yeah,
That's a cruel twist, man. Yeah.
yeah, absolutely.
Twist of fate to right. You live forever, but you can't you can't use a mirror.
Richard Lawson, there you go. Richard Lawson and Blackula too.
There it is.
Yeah, I forgot exactly how it went, but it was funny. It stuck. I remembered it, from being a kid.
Well, I think about it. So many, man. You think about it, even back then. Now, so many movies, so many horror movies that have, just comedy on different levels. And again, it's different levels of it. Like there's subtle ones. There's more like in your face. There's just over the top. I mean, it's necessary. Bottom line, I feel like it's necessary to have the both. In my opinion, nowadays at least, I still like to be scared, be terrified. But I think you still, even if a movie is something like the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, even if it's a line or two, you got to throw some sort of comedy in there to kind of offset the mood a little bit, because it can get a little too tense. People's heart rate's going to go up a little too high. Blood pressure, people are going to be heart attacks and strokes watching the film. We don't want that. So
it's not good for business, right? You need them to come back.
You got to keep them alive.
Yeah.
So you got to tone it down a little bit, bring it back up. No, but there's there's so many movies. I'm seeing everybody drop some movies in here. Most of them more recent.
Let's check them out.
Yeah, so, man, I definitely got to put a lot of these on my watch list here.
Yeah, check them out. 100%.
And that was a great. That was actually one of the funniest parts I found in speaking of Lost Boys. That scene where Michael's in front of the mirror and Corey Haim, his brother in the movie, he sees him. He sees the translucent reflection, and he's putting his hand through him, and he goes, "What is he?" He goes, "I can't believe it. My own brother, a shit sucking vampire." Well, you just wait till mom finds out about this, buddy.
Yeah. That was classic.
Sibling rivalry thing to happen, right? That was such a fun, right? Yeah,
classic. That's classic. Classic line.
That's why that movie is like timeless, man. That movie's,
Let me.
You're good.
Yeah,
so good.
Let me tell you guys a movie that it's definitely a comedy. It's definitely a horror comedy. It's equally both. That I think everybody should watch. It's The Blackening. The Blackening. If you ever heard of that movie, The Blackening, that one was well done. It was directed by Tim Story. Tim Story, I believe he did like a House Party and stuff like that. But he also did the original Fantastic Four movies. But he directed The Blackening, and it was written by one of the dudes. I forgot his name. One of the dudes that plays in the movie. But it's a movie with a group of friends, and they go away for Juneteenth. They go away for Juneteenth to a house, Airbnb, whatever you call it, and they start getting picked off. But it's truly hilarious, and the comedy works. It's heavy with the comedy, but the comedy works, and it's it's real kills and everything. It's a fun watch. It's called the Blackening. Yeah, and they're forced to play a game to stay alive. Like a board game. They're forced to play a board game. It's a cool film.
Yeah, I never watched it. There's so many movies I've seen either trailers. I know you're gonna kill me for that, but I did see trailers, or I seen bits and pieces of it. Like I'm gonna start to watch it, and then either A, I fall asleep, or B, I'm just like something sidetracked. Boom, I'm handling something else. But I got definitely just due to so many movies, and I appreciate everybody here. Seriously, everybody dropping the films in here. I got to add it to the ultimate Jimmy J watch list here. It's getting extensive.
Yeah, public service announcement: stay away from the trailers. These advertising agencies do not know how to cut trailers anymore. They spoil the whole movie. So what you do, you watch the teaser when it comes out, and you stay away from the trailers. Because the next movie I wanted to talk about, let me just say this: Companion was spoiled. Because Companion is a horror comedy, and it was spoiled by the trailers. Go ahead, Jimmy. Sorry about that.
No, I want you to talk, since you brought that up now, talk about Companion, Swift. Tell us about this film, why you enjoyed it. I mean, I don't know if you want to spoil anything, but like
I won't spoil anything because I'm heavy against spoiling this movie. But what I will do is just talk a little bit about it. Okay, Companion is a movie starring Jack Quaid and I forget the girl's name. She also plays in Yellow Jackets.
She's oh my God,
I can't think of her name right now. I can't. Yeah,
I got it.
But yeah, but it's a movie. It's a good romantic couple movie. It's a good movie to watch. You know, with your lady or with your husband, your boyfriend, whatever, your wife, girlfriend, and it's a good movie to watch in groups. Yeah, there you go. Sophie Thatcher. You check this movie out, Companion. It's like some of the most fun I've had in a movie in a long time at the theater. The comedy hits, the twists and turns are remarkable, and I really enjoyed the movie. I loved it. I loved it. It was a lot of fun. What did you think about it, Jimmy?
Swift, I'll tell you, only thing I'm going to say about it. Thank God I listened to you. You told me do not watch the trailer.
Yeah.
Because if I would have watched it, it would have gave away one big piece of information. That
ridiculous.
Give it away in a trailer like that. That's something that that's part of the the twist. What this is? Yeah, come on.
Mm-hmm.
You give away too much now.
And it was crucial. It was crucial information. You know, it was crucial information they gave away in the trailer. Luckily, I saw the movie before I watched the trailer. I stopped watching trailers a couple of years ago because they're just, they're just ineffective. They tell you the whole movie, so you're pretty much going to the movie for exposition. You know everything else that's going to happen. So I got a problem with that. But I think what they need to do with this marketing budget, they need to kick a few dollars to the director, let the director cut the trailers and cut these advertising agencies out because they're ruining the movie experience. Like, they're not creating that hook to bring you to the theater. Johnny, you remember this, and Jimmy, you remember this too. Back in the day, you watch a trailer, or we used to call them coming attractions back then. Oh, Trippy Hippie, what's up, Ray? We would watch a coming attraction, and it would raise your interest. You're like, oh man, that looks good. I want to see that movie. Like, you have the general idea what the movie's about, but you're like, man, I wonder what's gonna happen. Yeah. You wanted to go see the movie. It created the hook. You finally made it. Glad to see. Yeah, we still on. We waiting for you. We're waiting for you.
Exactly. Now we can go. No,
The evening's complete.
Listen, man, it's just something.
Thank you for coming.
Remember the TV spots, and I post quite a few of them. I post at least one TV spot on way back Wednesdays on the Facebook page. I miss those TV spots because nowadays everything's streaming and stuff like that. But like, used to see those commercials in 30-second TV advertisement for a movie, and it gave you just enough. It didn't spoil anything, and if it did, it was very little something it threw out there just to hook you. But they're telling you the whole goddamn movie with these trailers.
Yeah.
Why? Like, I'm not doing it anymore. I'm not watching. I am boycotting trailers. I'm with you. I'm not doing it.
Well, I'll watch it, and I'm gonna take your advice as always, and I'm not going to
Companion.
I'm gonna go right to the movie. Yeah. Go right to the movie. Yeah.
The teaser. You watch the teaser, and then you leave it. Yeah. 100%.
I'm not even going to do that. I'm just going to go right to watching it. That's it. I won't watch anything.
Dr. Giggles. Dr. Giggles was dark and it was funny. Yeah.
Oh, it was
dark,
good.
Dark comedy.
I could just hear that giggling in my head.
That movie Teeth, man.
Oh, Teeth.
With the killer, the JJ.
Yeah. The JJ.
Man, that terrified
the JJ that doesn't play.
Oh man, I mean, Jesus. I'm like,
That's more of a nightmare, man. That's a nightmarish.
That's for sure.
That's
That's
real
traumatizing. Yes.
Yeah, that's it. Boss. Oh man.
Some of these trailers will be, giving too much
Yeah,
plot.
no,
Absolutely,
it's wild.
you're 100% right.
Yeah. Teeth. Listen, let me tell you
Teeth
something.
was crazy. Yeah,
There
of
was,
course, the LOL.
Yeah, yeah. Because like, yo, I think there was the level of men that were actually at that time when that movie came out, abstinence was at an all-time high during that,
Oh yeah,
that time period when that movie was released.
Yeah,
yeah.
that's good for population control.
Lady,
That's
wow,
it.
yeah. Did
Wow.
anyone hear of Lady
Lady-
Terminator? No, I did not.
No.
Similar to Teeth.
Matt,
See
I
that?
don't blame you, buddy. It
I
terrified
knew
me.
the women were gonna love it,
Yeah.
and the men, we all got quiet on here. We all got quiet.
Yeah, because
I
we're
first
thinking
saw
of
Teeth
schematic
thinking it was a horror movie about a dentist. Oh,
Well, it's a different kind of dentist.
Well, it'll be a different kind of dentist. Yeah.
He's operating with a different anyway. I'm not gonna go ahead. It's
Yeah.
wild. Yeah, man.
Yeah.
Come on. It's
yeah, that was insane.
my stomach hurts, man. Oof.
Oh yeah.
Anyway, get off that subject. Yeah, again, to the point. The last thing I want to talk about, the last horror comedy movies like I'm thinking about here is all of these Disney films and other, I guess, Disney characters like being created into monsters now with Mickey Mouse, with Winnie the Pooh.
The public domain characters, the characters that just went into public domain. Yeah.
Well, I think you guys know. I will confess that I did watch Popeye, the Slayer Man. I like how they cross out Sailor.
Yeah.
It's Popeye the
Yeah.
Slayer Man.
Yeah,
And
Popeye the
so-
Slayer Man. Yep.
Yeah,
Did
so
he
I
still
did. I
have the
did
spinach?
actually watch it. What's
Yeah.
that, Jim?
Did he still have the spinach?
I don't. If anyone's brave
Well-
enough to go watch it, then I don't want to say anything because it's not a hard concept to. It's not hard to conceive.
To give away. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
If I say anything,
Yeah.
it'll give away the little bit of. Like I said,
It's brand new. Like it just came out like last week.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
just growing up watching Popeye, I don't know. I just had it. I was just real curious,
Yeah.
and I don't know if you remember, I was saying that what they turned him into. If you remember, one thing I did like is that, as opposed to some of the other movies that are, it's a person wearing the character. In Popeye,
It's just a fun. Yeah, Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey.
Right.
It's just a fun
they may be
watch.
fun
Not
to
great,
watch,
but fun.
and those are typically it's typically a person wearing the costume, right?
Yeah.
It's not actually that character from that cartoon or movie. In Popeye the Slayer Man, it's actually him. It's not.
That's
a person in
Popeye.
a costume.
Yeah.
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 And so, they try to have the backstory and bring other people from the cartoon into it but I actually thought by himself, I was like, he looks pretty. It was so ridiculous, it was good.
Yeah.
And so I was like, that would be a cool cosplay. Just for shits and
Wow.
giggles, that would be a cool cosplay. And I know Immortal Masks, from I saw in the credits, they made I don't know if they did the arms, but they did the mask. So I wonder how long it'll be before they have it for sale. But I mean,
It's only a matter of
too
time.
expensive. I can't afford it anyway. But I'm just saying, it would be a cool cosplay, even if nobody. I mean, maybe a few dozen people like me that grew up watching Popeye will see it. But
Well, I got to tell you,
Well,
man.
listen.
Yeah, go ahead.
I will say
No,
that
I was excited to see it. I'm excited to see it.
yeah.
I think on that note, I'm looking.
Have no expectations. Just have no expectations, and you'll be okay, I guess. It goes quick. There are a couple of there's a couple of good kills. I think two of the best kills of the movie don't happen by his hand, but because of him. They're ridiculous, and of course, there's one serious element in the movie. How do I say? There's a serious topic that comes up in the movie, which kind of makes you really dislike one of the characters. I would say he's also one of the antagonists in the movie. And like I was saying, I couldn't wait for him to get offed because he makes it to the end. And when Popeye finally has his moment with this guy, you're really like, yeah. So now you have the two antagonists, and you're like, okay, Popeye, please get rid of this mofo already. And so that one moment was satisfying, was gratifying to see him take care of this son of a bitch. And you'll understand when you watch it why I'm saying this. What he does in the movie to somebody. And so, but anyway, but have at it.
Popeye the Slayer Man. Got it.
Yeah, this is Popeye the Slayer Man. It's different than Popeye's Revenge. Yeah, the Slayer Man. Yeah. It's different from Popeye's Revenge.
Yeah, I got to tell you though, this is what I'm talking about. Like, there's so many things so many different kind of films and movies that they're creating here, just intertwining. Again, a horror and comedy, and I think like with these new Disney or cartoon character killers that we're seeing here, it's showing you like, all right, these are characters we all know. Now we're going to show you their evil brother, sister. Here they are. Now they put them in different lights. And it's over the top, man. It's ridiculous. It's comical. Just that alone, just seeing these characters kill people, it's just that alone is comedy. But it's pretty horrific. Like the Winnie the Pooh shit was it's ridiculous. I think about the blood and honey. Oh my goodness. And the piglet there, and it's like, oh, this is wild, man. It's like
Piglet,
no, dude, it was crazy. And
I mean, I haven't seen them. It just didn't interest me. I hate to say it, but I'm
with you guys, dude. I'm not a big fan of these. I'm not. I guess the one that I did see and I managed to make it all the way through was the Winnie the Pooh Blood and Honey one, and it was fun. But
about it.
It's like I just feel like they're taking a name and they're using it because they know they're going to get people to watch it because of the name. It's just one of those things. Like, all right, well.
Yeah, it worked for me. With me for Popeye.
Exactly. Oh, everybody knows these characters. I mean, it's smart. It's smart, but the films aren't that great.
I respect it. I respect it because that's a part of horror. Horror since forever has done that. So I respect it. Like, look, I used to watch the on Sci-Fi Channel every Saturday night. Johnny, if you remember this, every Saturday night they would premiere a new film. And those movies, it's like what somebody said, 18-headed shark octopus and all these types of crazy stuff. Like I got a spot in my heart for those types of films because they're just silly.
Genre. You're right. This is our genre. So I have to for me to say, oh, it just wasn't a good. I mean, come on. B movies are staples. Yeah. I mean, we are the redheaded stepchildren of movies in general, of all genres. People.
It's the heart of my existence. Yeah, man. The B-rate silly movies. Come on.
The outcast, but we're making the most noise, and we deserve more goddamn respect. Our genre.
And we got the best. We got the best fans.
Hell yeah, best fans.
The most avid, most loyal, most passionate fans of any other form of entertainment besides maybe music or something like that.
No, man, listen, man, we're doing it.
I haven't seen Popeye's Revenge. Popeye's Revenge, I'm not sure where it streams. The new Popeye that came out, you might have to rent it. It came out like last week or the week before. It's called Popeye the Slayer Man.
Whoa.
Oh,
Popeye's Revenge is on Prime. Prime.
I'll wait too. Yeah. $20.
Yeah.
Come on, man.
It didn't even cost $20 to make that movie.
I'll buy it for $1.
Well, they only need a few people, right? They only need 2 people, and they double their what they spent. People to see it.
I'll buy that for $1.
Brooklyn Diva brought up. I don't know if any of you guys have seen Radu from Subspecies.
Okay.
Have you seen that? Are you familiar with it?
No. I know what it is, but I haven't seen it.
Oh, they're good. I enjoyed them, especially
the whole series. Yeah.
Well, it's like anything that has too many movies, I guess. I mean, they start to it starts to get a little stale, I guess. But for the most part, Radu, there's the first couple of movies. They're pretty
Yeah.
good. Yeah, and he's an interesting
Four
looking
more
vampire
pieces.
too.
Yeah,
he's-
big time.
Yeah, Radu. Yeah, Radu. He's funny too, and he's always walking around. He's drooling blood everywhere, and he wants his fledgling, and it's a fun watch for sure.
Yeah.
Man,
Yep.
you got that.
Oh damn! I probably wait.
Right.
Probably
Yep.
good.
He sucks on
Probably
the
wait
stone.
too then. Yeah, you can wait on it. He sucks on the stone. Yeah, the bloodstone.
Yeah.
He's cute like Rook and Death Note.
Oh.
Wow, you watched Death Note too?
Oh boy.
Didn't realize it was so new. Yeah. Like Popeye the Slayer Man just came out, and does have.
Yeah, it's not in the theaters. But so I looked in just for with Popeye the Slayer Man. I thought it was going to be in the theaters. I looked on Fandango, and they didn't see it in any theaters, but they said you could stream it on Fandango, or it's also on. I think I streamed it on Apple TV.
Well, it was in the theater, limited engagement, like 2 weeks ago.
Oh, was it? Oh, okay. I
For,
guess
just for like 2 days, like I think it was a Tuesday and a Wednesday or something
Huh.
crazy.
Damn.
I gotta
okay.
say, Brooklyn Divas hardcore. God
Yeah.
damn.
Oh no, Brooklyn Divas IQ was crazy.
Absolutely
Brooklyn
insane.
Divas got good
Shout out-
taste.
shout out to Brooklyn Divas. Yeah,
Yes,
man.
indeed.
Yeah, that's just learning about some movies here and some series. I mean, I'm gonna go back and just start writing some of this stuff down, man.
Oh,
'Cause
yeah.
Radu is. I'm telling you, in the whatchamacallit, Radu
Subspecies.
Yeah, it's
That's no
he's a
anime.
funny
Excellent.
he's a funny character.
horrible.
He's definitely
Yeah.
a fun take on a vampire. Yeah, you watch it, you'll like him.
I gotta what? Yeah,
He's-
I gotta.
Yeah, it's a I don't know the actor's name who plays him, but he does a really good job. Like everything, the makeup.
I like the design. Yeah.
Yeah, he's a good. Yeah, he's memorable.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
At least
Good.
I think
Just
so.
did a
Yeah,
good job.
I like it. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's not very. It's not. It kind of flies under the radar, but it is definitely a fun watch. At least I
Because
think
that
so.
was the VHS era.
It is.
That was the VHS era, the video store era.
Yeah.
You know, subspecies.
right.
Yeah.
Yep.
But yeah, man. So guys, we're gonna wrap. We at the 2 hour. That seems to be like our average now, about 2 hours in. Because I love engaging with everybody, man. I don't
Yeah.
like to cut. I try to keep it, like within an hour, but I sounding off like you're saying, and I want everybody to get involved with this. So we just keep it
Yeah.
flowing.
Come on, Jimmy. You and I have
So
way
much
too much to talk about to make it in an hour.
Johnny, come on, bro. Listen, with John and myself here, and with us three right here, we'll do. I said it before. I say it again. We're gonna do telethons, and we're gonna raise. I said, screw what's his name, Bob Hope. Nah, man, Jimmy J got it covered here. And we're up day 75, and the zombie apocalypse is still going on, folks, and we're still going live. I didn't shower, and my hemorrhoids are acting up sitting in the chair.
Oh man,
Yeah.
TMI, baby.
Yeah.
No, they're not. I promise. We're good. That's pretty fucking
That's what they used
I used to watch movies in Brooklyn Divas Discord. Oh, she could help you figure it out if you want to do movies.
Oh.
Okay, yeah, we gotta talk to you, Brooklyn Diva.
Discord.
We definitely gotta talk to
Oh
you.
my goodness, for bringing this up because we're just getting
Are you on IG or
Sure,
Brooklyn
the
Diva? Are you on IG?
Brooklyn David, Johnny Sparks.
Yeah,
says,
Brooklyn Diva. If you're on IG, if you're on Instagram, movies in the StreamYard background, and Rumble. Remember I was telling you about Rumble?
Yeah.
Works better.
Oh, no,
Yeah,
no,
we
no.
gotta talk to you.
Yeah.
Background and Rumble works
Yeah.
better. Yeah, no,
Oh.
we gotta do this like
We should do a watch party, like you said, man.
that's what I'm saying. But with the Discord stuff, we just got a Discord. We created an account, and we're just trying to learn how to operate Discord. Like we have somebody showing us exactly the ropes, the ins and outs. Discord. So again, I'm new to this, so I'm sure if we get that rolling too as well, we'll have that, and we want to be covering on all platforms, and also, provide different kind of content on the platforms. And we have Facebook. That's the thing. Right now, for some reason,
And Facebook.
I just realized this too. We're streaming on YouTube. It looks like everybody's here is on YouTube. There's no stream from Facebook.
Yeah, there's no Tony. Tony's not in here.
Yeah, I noticed Tony's not in. Yeah, because Tony streams. He watches from Facebook, and we'll get that rolling. I'll figure out what the heck I did over here. But
Yeah,
listen,
where is our boy Tony? No evenings complete.
no, you know what it is? Tony's he streams on Facebook because I realized we're just on YouTube. Because I'm like, wait a minute, I was questioning the same thing. Him and Jay, I'm like, what? And I just see all YouTube. I'm like, okay, I must have not clicked the Facebook button, so we're only streaming on YouTube this week. We'll get it rocking. And this week, guys. Listen, some weeks are not going to be better than others. You know, this week was a disaster with connections. John, by the way,
nightmares.
Dude, I got to send you my info just to
Yeah, we'll get that. Let's do it this weekend. Let me get that. Let's get that stuff sorted. Let me get you that stuff in the mail, and hopefully we can help boost your Wi-Fi connectivity.
Well, you don't want to steer all the way off to the right or left, guys. Any last thoughts on this love connection? Okay, probably the longest lasting love ever, horror and comedy. It's any thoughts, any movies you want to bring up or mention or talk about, or just any closing thoughts on this lovely killer connection?
You go first, Johnny.
Oh, okay. I come in like five
times. The missus. No one saw.
Wow,
I don't know, JC. Sounds like a technical difficulty of convenience.
On Facebook?
No, it's YouTube. YouTube. She said she commented.
Yeah, I didn't see them. I saw like one or two. That's the second one I saw.
Yeah.
Holy cow. All right, so we gotta check it out.
A lot of different comments. I can scroll back. But like I said, yeah, we got to figure this out. Blood Beach. Oh, is that the one?
Yes.
Is that
I saw that.
That's when John Saxon and was that the one with John Saxon and Paulie from Rocky? I forgot his what's his name?
Burt Ward.
Oh, Burt Ward. Yeah.
Burt Young. Burt Young.
Yeah. Oh, oops. Sorry. Yep. Any Batman? Yeah. So if I'm not mistaken, that movie is where if they're stuck on I don't know if it's they're on some a pillar or something or rocks. If they step onto the beach, something comes and like kills them, or something under the sand. Right? I think is that the movie Blood Beach. Right? Is that the?
Yeah, it was blood.
You were referencing?
I don't remember.
The best part about it was just Saxon and Burt Young, in my opinion. You've seen him on the screen. Saxon once again playing a cop or detective.
Oh boy, talk about typecast.
Yeah, hell yeah. Yeah, it's in the sand. Yeah, it's
in the sand.
It's in the sand.
Right. Yeah.
But yeah.
Blood Beach.
What do we got? Giant. It's a giant claim. That's another one. Yeah, that was early 80s. 80 or 81, something like that. Early 80s for sure. Yeah.
The kids found his wiener.
Oh boy. Yeah. Man, there really is a lot of like little things that are thrown in some of these movies.
That's cool. That's comedy. That's comedy right there.
Man, exactly. Any other? I'm just thinking right now. I mean, there's so many, man. This is
scary movies is a favorite.
The spoof flicks, the spoof films. Yeah. Scary movie series. A Haunted House. That's the one that Marlon Wayans did afterwards. A Haunted House 1 and 2. Those were spoofs of Paranormal Activity. You got what's the other thing? Meet the Blacks with Mike Epps.
Yeah, right.
1 and 2. Those were comedies, comedy spoof and horror.
Yeah.
You got Tyler Perry's Boo, the Medea Halloween 1 and 2. What else? There's a movie that's on Max right now called The Parenting. I haven't seen that one yet, but that's like another horror comedy. The Parenting is called. I think it's a spoof. I'm not really sure. I haven't been able to watch it yet. I haven't been able to check it out. But listen, you got Zombieland. I don't know if we talked about Zombieland. I think we did, right?
Briefly, yeah.
Yeah.
Bill Murray.
Let me tell you, an unsung master of horror comedy. We talked about him a little bit. Was Wes Craven? Like, look at what he did to People Under the Stairs. There was comedy in that movie.
I love that, man.
He's an unsung horror comedy creator. Unsung.
Well, look at every Freddy movie, right? It's for sure.
Scream.
I mean, look, it's evident. Yeah, right. Yeah. It's evident, and so look. And Yeah, it's there's a lot of good. I guess.
Go ahead, Johnny. Go ahead.
Yeah,
I was just thinking.
I was going to say. Yeah. I was just thinking about. I mean, all those movies that Swift just mentioned. I was just thinking about that. Yeah, so many good scenes and things the way things are parodied, and I love that one part in Scary Movie, and it's funny. I tease Creepy Betty. I'm like, I think Scary Movie was better than Scream.
Oh,
But,
yeah.
well, listen, I got to fire back for that 2010 Freddy. You know what I'm saying? But
Payback.
Revenge is best served cold.
But you remember the scene where he gets the Wayans brother, he gets shot in the chest and he's on the ground and he goes, Sidney, they shot me in the chest. And then he's got so much weed in him, the smoke is coming out of the bullet wound. He goes, he's like, come over here and hit this shit.
Yeah.
He just got shot in the chest. He's dying on the floor.
Yeah,
and he's about taking the last hit with Sidney.
Yeah. Oh man.
Stuff
That's
like
funny.
that is just it's just too much. I love it's a movie I could watch over and over and still laugh every time I see those.
From the hole.
These scenes. Right.
Yeah.
No, it really these like moments, and I was laughing before because when you brought up people under the stairs, with the only image that popped in my head was Daddy in a gimp suit running through the house with a shotgun. Why?
Yeah.
I don't know what goes on in the bedroom over there. They got the swing action. I have no idea. It's this guy with the gimp.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, it was wild. Yeah, but these movies. I mean, it's just. It's needed, man. It's needed. It's a perfect marriage. Horror.
Yeah.
I absolutely love it. A couple Matt shouted out Ghostbusters.
Yeah. Ghostbusters, yes. Ghostbusters is a classic.
Absolutely.
100%.
And you know what? Like, there's so many levels to horror, right? And Trippy Hippie Scary Movie is one of my favorites.
Yeah. I love them.
Ever.
I can watch it anytime.
Ranging from like Goosebumps, Are You Afraid of the Dark, like the kid shows there. Remember back in the day. And then all the spoof horrors that we talked about, and then
Tales from the Crypt, the TV series.
Yeah, I was in awe.
Oh yeah, oh my goodness, excellent. Yeah,
I still watch so many episodes. I got physical
horror comedy. There was comedy elements and maybe all of those episodes.
You know what I loved about Tales from the Crypt?
Yeah,
that they had big name actors and actresses in those series.
Oh yeah.
Roles. I mean,
they had very dark twists to them too. Like kind of like Twilight Zone. There were these dark twists.
Yeah, I didn't know Joe Pesci was even in one episode. I remember with the gambling. How they put Joe Pesci in this thing? And of course, he was in the gambling. Yeah, in a gambling episode, Tales from the Crypt, and it was like twin sisters. I remember, and I don't want to give it away what happened to him at the end of it, but it was pretty horrific. And you gotta watch. I gotta sing.
Look for that. Yeah.
Let me tell you something about Tales from the Crypt. Not only did they have big name actors in it, they had big name actors directing the episodes. Like a who's who of Hollywood at that time, top stars were directing the episodes of Tales from the Crypt.
I mean, you could tell. Was it Richard Donner? I think right.
Richard Donner, bro. You had Arnold Schwarzenegger directed an episode of Tales from the Crypt.
Yeah, I remember that.
Everybody was touching it. Everybody was touching it. It was hot.
Wow.
It was a hot commodity. Everybody loved it. Everybody wanted a piece.
Why? I don't know why they didn't have more seasons. Of course, anything else they have to.
You can blend a lot with horror. You just have to make it work. Absolutely.
Yeah, and it's a matter of perspective, right, Matt? Something could just might not be technically a horror, but it could be horrible to you.
Schneider. I love it, but you have to laugh through it.
Yeah.
I don't think I saw that.
Ross Sermon's Night Gallery. Yes.
Night Gallery.
Yeah.
Jimmy, you making a list here? Because there's a lot we got to watch. I'm
checking it twice.
Yeah.
Demon Knight.
Demon Knight was really
good.
Yeah, that was good.
Had comedy in it too. Yeah. Night of the Creeps.
I love that one too.
It was directed.
Yeah. Excellent.
86. That was a good one.
Yeah, I got to meet a bunch of the cast from Night of the Creeps a few years ago in JaharaCon.
John Atkins, right? John Atkins was in there.
Thrill me. Okay, come on, man.
Tom Atkins.
Tom Atkins. Yeah, what am I talking about? Yes. Excuse me.
You're
Yeah,
bad.
Tom
Yeah,
Atkins. Yeah.
you're just as bad. No, you're better than still better than me with
Dude, I
names.
can't remember anything. So,
Yeah.
but yeah, and that's the thing. I like these, say comedy, but these dark twists, like with what is it? Was it Tales from the Crypt, the one with Don Rickles, if you remember, where he's doing the ventriloquism, and he's got this it's like his brother. He's got like this sibling or something that goes in the puppet, goes in the dummy. And do you remember that episode where?
Mm-mm.
All right, I don't want to say anything. Jim, did you see that episode?
I know what you're talking about. I watched so many. I used to watch.
Yeah, check that one out. I forgot the name of it, but if you search, you'll find it. It's Don Rickles. Speaking of like a very well-known, classic actor and comedian, and it's a really good episode. Oh no, wait, was it Don Rickles or Bobcat?
They had
I'm getting confused. Might have been Bobcat Goldthwait instead.
Bobcat Goldthwait.
Right? Yeah, I think it was Don Rickles in a different episode, or I'm thinking of Twilight Zone. But also, I'm gonna say, yeah, you guys chat. I'm trying to think of.
Return of the Living Dead. Yeah.
Well, Return of the Living Dead, man.
Yeah. I'm busting the damn head.
Busting the damn head. Fucking Miguel Nunez, man.
Oh man,
she's taking off her clothes again.
Yeah.
You got me on the Miguel trip, man. Sitting here like, ooh, baby.
Oh, the front room. The front room that was with Brandy sucked until the end. I bust out laughing and it made watching the whole movie worth it. Oh, God, I gotta watch it.
Well, at least there was something
funny, man. Twilight Zone.
Twilight Zone movie was good as well.
Both of them, the original and the remake were very good.
Oops, we know what you're talking about, Diva.
This has been another great conversation with everybody here. We're gonna wrap it because guys, again, we can telethon style, baby. We did. I don't mind, I love it, but yeah, I don't know about you guys. I gotta get up about 5:30 tomorrow, but I don't want to stop talking. But I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna leave you wanting more, gargoyles and ghouls. No, but I want to throw it out there. I appreciate everybody once again on a Friday night. Chilling with us three right here. We're chilling and killing here. Johnny Sparks, the most electrifying cosplayer in the game today. And by the way, not throwing it out there. I never did it before, but I'm going to do it now, John. The man with the golden pipes. That's what another nickname he is. Johnny's going to be doing audiobooks soon. Very, very well. He already does. Sometimes I do the same thing. But you're going to get paid on these. And of course, my man with the plan, Swift, the anesthesiologist. We call Swift a lot of names. Call him the anesthesiologist, Swift Knox. We call him Swift Flair, Swift Wheelchair Flair. I mean, there's a lot of different, nicknames this guy has.
Yeah,
but he is.
Elaborate on that a little. Oh, sorry, no,
let's not elaborate on some. But the bottom line is, I appreciate you guys
rated
very much. As always, jumping on.
Likewise, Jim. We appreciate everything you do too.
Dude, listen.
You're the man.
I do what I love. That's it. This is what it is, guys.
One of my passions. You work all day. You work all day like we do, and then you come home and you jump right into this. And so,
let me tell you something, John. I'm gonna tell you what I would tell Swift. Okay, there's no bitch shit here. There's no pussy shit. Straight up. Yeah. I'm saying it right here. I don't care. I work 17. I work 25 hours in a day, 8 days a week, and I'm still here, right here.
Yeah.
That's it.
Whatever doesn't kill you just makes you stronger.
And I'm only using this language, this colorful language right now. I get a little professional here because it is Friday night and it's late Friday night. So Jimmy can, just pull back the curtain a little bit. Anyways.
And we're live.
And we're live now. I promise. No, when we do interviews, hopefully there's no talent. Like, this guy's off the rails. No, because I'm a lot more structured and professional when we do interviews. This is why I do this live, because it's more free flow. It's more regular conversation. I like that. It's more organic. I don't like.
We're just horror fans hanging out on a Friday night.
Hanging, man.
Yeah.
3 people left because they heard me said, "Oh my God!" Do you see? There we go. Like, oh my God, he's nuts. He's crazy. Colorful. Anyways, I appreciate everybody very much. Thank you. all for
Thank
tuning
you
in,
all.
guys. We're signing out. And for Johnny Sparks, for Swifty Cent, I am Swifty Cent.
Thanks, everybody.
There it is.
Appreciate it.
Jimmy J. We're going to see you Wednesday.
Love you
Let's
all.
hope to God. By the way, if it's not Wednesday, the backup plan is every Friday, 9 p.m. if it's not Wednesday. But
Listen, if I have to come out there and put a satellite on your roof,
but I got to get one.
We got to get this figured, man.
As long as it's not the one that John Ritter had, and stay tuned. And that's another movie. I don't want to get sucked into Death Vision. That's what the hell of vision. But anyway, we're good, guys. Signing out of here. Have a great night, everybody. Have a killer weekend.
Great weekend, everybody.
Thanks for coming out, everybody. Love you.
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much. Love you all, guys.
Take care.
Take it easy.
All right, man.
Peace.
Peace out.